impact of Randy Orton. Down, unable to protect himself, and now Omega, the challenger, has an opportunity to do something no one in AEW has done. Finish him off! He's calling for it! This is it! This is it! Your career's on the line here! Do it! Do it! This place will erupt when he picks him up! He's got him up! Oh, hell yeah! 1, 2, 3! Thank you! Thank you! We've got a new heavyweight champion! Climb the ladder, kid! Make yourself famous! I just had an out-of-body experience! What did we just see? What did we just see? He got him in a power slam! He got him in a power slam! He got it! Simmons got it! Simmons has won the match! Simmons is a champion!
I've always maintained that reality is for people who can't face drugs.
Shit is about to get real.
You get to see your knee. Shit.
Look at the stare of the champion against the challenger.
What?
And now, Straight Talk Society presents Wrestling with Reality.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's going to be the biggest battleground in the history of our sport. The biggest match in pro wrestling history.
The two biggest superstars in our sport in the biggest event the sport has ever seen. The biggest match in the history of our sport.
Trying to run a little scalded dog here. Enough is enough. That's enough. No! Oh, God, that's enough! Stop it! Fail! Listen, it's tougher than a $2 steak. Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Slam! Slam! Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Lucifer's lips are the biggest size in the WWE! Somebody stop this! Somebody stop the damn match! Enough's enough!
What?
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Dude, got your grill! Woo!
WWE Dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time. Let's rock.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
So to escape from reality?
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
I am reality.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Oh, it's live, Hal.
Let the slaughter begin! It is now time for
With reality.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Junior, look at this.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
number one to be the man, baby! You have to beat the man! Heavyweight champion of the world. The time is now. Reality has become the present, and the final lesson of the pain game has begun. Have you ever heard a joke like that in your life? You are gonna wrestle my ass for the world title. You will have to kill me to keep me from killing you. Woo!
The 90s have been referred to as the reckoning with truth. In the 80s, everything was clouded. Nobody ever told the truth. In the 90s, the way to go is flat out. Tell no lies. That's the way we're gonna do it. When you hear something from our lips, truth it may be, and as much as it may hurt, you can count on it being exactly the way that it is.
We want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga!
Oh, that never gets old. What is up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host.
Mike, Trevor.
Oh man, you can't hear
Can't
me.
hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, what's going on?
Can you hear me, Trevor?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
I can hear Vancat too.
Yeah, I think it's something on your end, Vancat. Let me see.
Oh, I
yeah.
can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay. Oh man, you done messed up the intro, so now I got to go back again. What is up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host Trevor, and we're back with another episode of Wrestling with Reality. Man, it's been a while since we've been here, but nevertheless, we are here with you, and we do have a great show lined up for you. So I do have to be in full transparency, but before I get to that, I am joined by the political prophet amongst men, MD, and producer extraordinaire Vancat. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
What's happening?
Can't call it, man. Another busy day, man. I had just got home so damn late, it wasn't even funny. So
at least you off work.
You still yeah, man, it's crazy, man. We so busy. It's not even it's crazy, man. It's like we keep adding employees, and you think that would help knock down some of the work, but we just keep getting more and more, which is a great thing. I'm not complaining about that. So
thanks, Biden.
Thanks, Biden. Speaking of Joe Biden, y'all make sure and tune in to Tape Fist Politics from last night, and hell, just go back and just check out all the Tape Fist Politics episodes. Fantastic political show. I say it is the best on YouTube. At first I was saying it was the best on YouTube amongst amateurs, but now it is the best on YouTube, just period. Just when you look at everything that's going on, they do put a lot of work in it. We got 3 copyright claims today, but that's fine. It's funny, they copyrighted on that Shirley Chisholm video. Of all videos to copyright,
I know.
They copyrighted that. Like that's
that stupid song, that stupid Trump anthem song. Glad to be an American.
Yeah, that one got that's ridiculous.
That was like 3 seconds.
That I don't know, man. I don't know what to do anymore, and I don't.
No, it's not. It doesn't impact anything. I saw that. That's on my channel too. It doesn't impact anything.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even care about it. But what I was gonna say in full transparency, because I know we're doing the AEW All In preview show, I have probably watched 2 minutes of AEW programming all month.
Well, that's a minute and 59 seconds more than me, sir.
What about you, MD? Just gonna give us the trifecta.
I mean, all I know is a YouTube highlight. That's it. I can tell you what's going on from there. Other than that, I'm right with you. Hell, you and probably everybody else that's in the demo.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it ain't. And now, I will say this. I think I looked at this card. I have the card. I think this is probably going to be pay-per-view of the year, just looking at the card. So when you guys hear me crap on them, it's not because I don't think the product is going to be any good. It's just not, nobody's seeing it. But I think this card is going to be tremendous, and we are going to run down the card. But as far as the backdrop and storyline and all that stuff, I can't tell you anything.
I
But
believe this card is better than last year, but the
yeah,
problem is nobody knows about it.
yeah, this card looks. I think they did a show the other day that got 192,000 viewers.
There you go.
That's got to be Impact level. Like that's insane. But again, I think I want everybody to hear, because everybody loves to say I'm criticizing them. Y'all check out this Busted Wrestling with Reality shirt while we at it. I don't want to put the camera too low because I wanted the belts to show. I did put my spinner belt on the wall finally, but I think the card's going to be tremendous. I wish it wasn't happening. Well, you know what? It's a Wembley show. It may be an earlier card. I got to check the time. I forgot. It's a Wembley show.
I believe it started at 1.
Oh, okay. Okay, then that all right. Then we could do a
because it's gonna be all day long.
Okay, so we could probably do a watch along to the main event then. Okay, I that's the thing that was making me nervous, because I'm like, oh my God, another night show that I got to stay up for. But okay, that's cool then. So before we get into that card though, we do have a couple of stories that I do want to go over. Just a couple of stories we got to pay some tributes to a couple of wrestlers, things like that. Then we'll get into the card, and then we'll get you out of here. But before we get into that, MD, what's your thoughts on the Tua Brian Flores controversy?
I mean, at first I felt though that he was emboldened to say the stuff about Brian Flores based on the fact that he got paid. That was my initial thought. I also thought that, with how young quarterbacks are treated nowadays, even going into high school, they coddled a lot. You know what I mean? So I felt like, he took what Brian Flores did personally as far as his coaching strategy, which to me, I mean, we grew up getting cussed out by a football coach. You know what I'm saying? Telling us we weren't worth a damn and all this. So, that's to be expected in the realm of football. But now, and I even see it with high school quarterbacks today. They're not used to like being treated that way. You know what I mean? So my initial thought was, man, he acted like a sucker. Why would you come on a nationally televised show and say something about a head coach? Then I got to thinking about it. Brian Flores is he's basically mimicking like what Belichick did, because Belichick did the same thing with Brady. And Brady, but the difference was Brady took that and solidified probably one of the greatest football careers in history. Merely for motivation of being cussed out by the coach and saying that you weren't worth a damn. So I look at it from that aspect. I can see it from both sides. Me personally, I wouldn't say that about a head coach, period. You know what I mean? And I don't think a top quarterback should be saying something like that about a coach. But I get it based on the fact that at the end of the day, the quarterback is the head of the household. That's just point blank, period. Who are you to say, especially if you're trying to win, who are you to say that you ain't worth a damn, all because you mad because first you didn't get Brady. You wanted Brady. You didn't get Brady. Then you turn around, you wanted Deshaun Watson. You didn't get, so essentially he was a disgruntled employee mad at another employee. That's the way you ultimately got to look at it, because it's the NFL. It ain't college. It ain't high school. You know what I mean? You don't put priority one versus the other in a professional athlete versus a professional coach. So, you know, I don't take no grunts about it. I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't take no grunts about it based on the fact that at the end of the day, Tua is your guy. You know what I mean? Despite whether you like it or not, you have to have the aptitude enough as a coach to be able to adapt to it.
So we sidebarring out the gate.
Yeah, but I like I said earlier, I'm not even going to respond to what MD said. Not that I don't I disagree or agree with anything he said, but I already have this show planned to do later. I'm going to actually break down the whole Tua Brian Flores controversy, but I just wanted, with all the stats and everything, but I just wanted to hear what MD said because I know MD is a football guy. Shout out to Bones in the building. One thing you did say, you mentioned Deshaun Watson, you mentioned Tom Brady. He also wanted Justin Herbert in the draft. That's where it started.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Which I would have took Herbert. Me myself personally, that's what I would have took. I think Herbert is a better quarterback. It's all, but at the end of the day, if you ain't got the system, if you ain't got the coaching aptitude for whatever you're trying to do, it don't matter.
See, now you gonna make.
So let me ask you, Trevor. Who would you pick? Would it have been Tua or would it have been Herbert?
Wait a minute. This is a sidebar. Sidebar.
Did you hear the question, Senator?
It just doesn't work for me,
Sidebar.
I never realized there was a picture of Marilyn Monroe on there. So Tua, I'm talking about Tua. There's a video of me before they hacked my Facebook channel of me at the 2020 draft, not at the actual physical draft because it was virtual, but during the draft, saying that when the Dolphins picked Tua, Bones will tell you, he's right there. When the Dolphins picked Tua, that in 5 years we'd be in the Super Bowl. This is the 5th year. I'm also the guy that's on record saying that the Dolphins should have lost every game in 2019. And I was pissed that they started going on a winning streak because they were losing their chances at Tua. Good thing Joe Burrow got so hot. See, Bones saying he could vouch for me because he knows I've always been a Tua guy. I used to update Tua's stats on Facebook every week when he was throwing 6 touchdown games. I always just said, Tua's coming to Miami. Tua's going to be the savior of the Dolphins. So when you ask me who would I have taken, Tua or Justin Herbert, absolutely Tua, because the truth of the matter is Justin Herbert was an underachiever at Oregon. It got to a point where people were even saying that his game wasn't going to translate to the NFL because his senior season sucked so much. He was so subpar. Now, Justin Herbert is awesome. Because he's bigger. He's the prototypical quarterback, 6'4", 6'5". He is Josh Allen. He could throw the ball a rocket mile, but I would tell you look at his stats and Tua's stats, they're identical. And Tua played like half the games of him. So, there it is with that. I would have been good with either one of them, but I'm a Tua guy. Like, and you guys heard me say on Man Talk Monday, this is the year we're going to the AFC title game, and I'm not backing down from that. This is the year. As long as number 1 stays upright, we are going to the AFC title game. Like that is it. I've never backed away from that.
Yeah, and y'all should win the division because Buffalo has lost so much. Like they done lost.
But Buffalo is Buffalo, man. Buffalo is our goddamn kryptonite.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm saying that y'all win the division.
I'm saying we win in the AFC conference.
Well, I ain't gonna take it that far. I'm saying that y'all will win the division. Like what y'all got? Buffalo, what, week 2, week 3, something like that?
On a Thursday night, week 2, we got Jaguars up first, then you got Buffalo that Thursday, which I hate.
In Miami, right?
Yeah, it's here.
Okay, so yeah, I mean y'all will be able to take the test beginning of the season.
We got actually again next Saturday. Bones is there too. We gonna do a NFL pre-show, not a pre-show, but a preseason show. So we're gonna break down our teams, give our predictions for the teams and everything. So that's gonna be like next
I'll be in the
Saturday.
building for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be like next Saturday, and I'm definitely doing a thing on the Tua Brian Flores thing just because I got all the sound. I was doing that during TFP last night because Ricardo sent me a message and asked me why I didn't come on the panel. Is because I was getting all the sound bites together that I wanted to use for the Tua Flores show, just because I feel like I really need to break it down and put it in some context because again, before they hacked my Facebook account, there's a post. I was pissed. I pulled the Hulk Hogan when Adam Schefter broke that the Dolphins fired Brian Flores. I was on record. God, I wish I could find that Facebook post saying, "See, this is why we're in the shape that we're in is because of bullshit like this." I literally pulled a Hulk Hogan. So I don't not like Brian Flores, not at all. I thought Brian Flores was a hell of a football coach. But I realize where he went wrong, and the most glaring thing, because I don't want to give up my show, but the most glaring thing when he made his statement yesterday, he never said that what Tua said wasn't true. That's the most damnable part there, because MD, he's suing the NFL, right?
Yeah.
So if Tua makes these comments and he doesn't say that none of this is true, nothing to see here, the NFL could be like, so what makes you think, why should we believe that your racist claims are true? This should open up a whole can of worms that I didn't know we were going to get before the season, but leave it to the Dolphins to have the spotlight of the damn NFL on them again. So it's going to be interesting. I'm damn sure we're going to talk about it because I like Brian Flores. I was legitimately pissed when they fired him because he was coming off of back-to-back winning seasons. There was no reason.
Right. Yeah, y'all went like 10-6 the season before, right?
Then we missed the playoffs because of friggin' Buffalo. But yeah, we went 10-6. And he had a team. He took the worst team in the NFL, which was the Dolphins, a team that analysts were on record saying that the Dolphins should be fined for putting that type of team out on the field. They're going to get guys hurt. He ended up getting them on like a 6 or 7 game win streak towards the end. So that guy's a good coach. But damn, MD, now you got me wanting to hell with it. Let's just do it. So you brought up Bill Belichick, how he wants to coach like Belichick. I am on record. Bones again is right there because I mentioned it in our other group. Mike Tomlin is a better head coach than Bill Belichick. And here's why I say that. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season he's had every single type of quarterback in the world. So you can't say he just had Big Ben. And the minute Brady leaves New England, they go down the toilet. And then Belichick gets ran out of town. Belichick has never been the greatest. He just had the greatest. And that's it. Because if you look at that Belichickian tree, all of his coaches were flops. Romeo Crennel, Charlie Weiss, Joe Judge, Matt Patricia. I know I'm missing a few. Bill
Kelly.
What's his name?
You talking about Bill O'Brien?
Yeah, Bill O'Brien, the guy that ruined the
Kelly.
Texans. Oh, Chip. Listen, he ain't produced nobody good. Bill Belichick is the product of having the greatest quarterback to ever live. And that hurt me because I'm a Dolphin fan. So once again, I vouch and agree. See, me and Bones be on it sometime. But yeah, I don't think Bill Belichick is the product of having an amazing system. I'm going to make Venkat happy. Bill Belichick is Vince McMahon lucking up and getting Hulk Hogan. And that's there it is. I tied it back into wrestling.
I agree with that, but at the same time, you can't deny like the backdoor skills that Belichick had. A lot of people look over the fact that Belichick was pretty much running the front office in New England too. You know what I mean?
And he never paid anybody. He always let veterans go.
He vents.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm telling you. He the Vince McMahon of football. My goodness. And speaking of Vince McMahon, we do got a story on Vince McMahon also. But he's the Vince McMahon of football.
Yeah, that's all he did. Get guys, get disgruntled players, put them on 1-year deals, underpay them, cut guys in the 5th year. He did all type of stuff.
And never. Okay, so he's never had anybody that you could say, oh man, that's a successful head coach from Bill Belichick. The most successful head coach right now is Nick Saban, and that's by light years. Nick Saban would have been good at Miami had he stayed, because again, he took that shitty team and got us on the 6-game winning streak. He just didn't like the fact that he was working with players that were making more money than him, and he couldn't do that and I'm the God type complex thing. The players will push back at him and be like, dude, you don't run shit over here. Bone says Josh McDaniel too, another failure. Everybody when you look at
Josh McDaniel,
hell, the best coaching tree right now is my man in San Fran. I mean, you got Mike McDaniel. Sean McVay came from him, correct? Like,
yeah, McVay,
that guy producing some legit head coaches. That's winning. So, you know, hey, that's all I'm saying, man. But I know Venkat, he probably his head about to explode now with all this damn football talk. hey, Venkat, get on board, man. Football is life.
It's trash, sir.
Like I said, man, y'all should have a good season. I took a look at y'all's schedule. Y'all got a pretty clean schedule. Y'all got a couple of games toward the end of the season. Like y'all got Houston and y'all got San Francisco. You know, them gonna be some tough games, but for Miami, it's gonna be about the division.
We owe San Fran though.
It's definitely gonna be about the division. So I'm expecting y'all to win the division. So
can't get excited for a sport that everybody don't play everybody.
Here you go. He just never understand, man. It is what it is.
I told you, man, Cat, I got the pads ready whenever you are, man.
Hey, and there's nobody in the NFL that's on what they call it in basketball. What's the Kawhi Leonard, the maintenance plan?
You're talking about
load management.
Load maintenance.
Yeah, come on, man, get out of here with that foolishness. So
that's those guys.
3/4 of a mile.
That's ridiculous. So let's get into this first story. So speaking of old Vince McMahon, have you guys heard this story? Mark Henry then got himself in a little hot water. Which once I read what he says, I know me and somebody on here going to disagree with our thoughts on this. So Mark Henry was on JBL and Gerald Briscoe's podcast. I didn't even know there was such a thing called Stories with Briscoe and Bradshaw. I got to listen to that because that sounds like that's good. So Mark Henry was quoted saying Vince McMahon is going through a tough time and all this and a tough time and all of the stuff that happened recently. I never saw any of that. I never heard any negativity like that. Him playing a damn joke on me was the worst. Was the worst of it. Like, you know, where I felt okay, that infringed on business, but it was nothing remotely bad. I had to say about Vince, and I took some heat for saying this before. People were like, "You're being insensitive," and there's other people that suffered. So here's the quote here. I said, "Yeah, but you know, some of those people that y'all talking about suffering, their suffering got worse when the money ran out. So like, where was the suffering when they were getting BMWs and millions of dollars? Did that pacify the suffering? Because if you're suffering, you should suffer all the time, right? Nothing should get in the way of that. I don't know. I just come from a different time." Then JBL responds, "I agree. I have no idea what happened and what's true and what isn't. And I'm not diminishing any of it." He hedging his bets here. I'm just telling you about my personal relationship. That's all we can speak about. I had a personal relationship with Vince, and it was fantastic. He was very good to me and very good to a lot of the old guys that he didn't have to be good to. So Venkat, me and MD talked a lot. Is this egregious, or is there nothing to see here? Shout out to Danelle Green.
This is 100% egregious.
Go ahead.
They are full of crap. You know, one of the things that I can never understand is when people do heinous stuff, and then other people that they know that did not receive those heinous actions say, well, he treated me good or she treated me good, so they got to be good. They treated you bad, that's you, that's not me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You can be very good to somebody and very bad to somebody. These things happen all the time, everywhere, every type of people. There are people that don't treat certain people right, and that Donald Trump treats certain people right. Donald Trump don't treat everybody right. Everybody's like that. So if you hear a story that he did some amazingly ridiculous stuff to somebody, it's not your place to be like, well, I made a lot of money with this guy and he treated me well, so what you're saying is invalid. No, it's not. He needs to shut his big clunky ass up and sit down in the corner somewhere, because we don't want to hear your story. It's not your issue. Why are you jumping in the head of the line taking bullets for this goofy ass cracker that just went with all this power tripping? But whatever.
You got some more? Go ahead.
No, that's it. Go ahead, Trevor. Say your stuff.
Now, MD, what you got on this?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking from an individual standpoint, I don't see how it's almost like Venkat saying that like nobody should like ever talk about Vince again and their experience with Vince. So I don't think you can qualify.
But that's not what he's saying, MD. That's not what he's saying. He's
saying that's what you saying.
Huh?
No, he's saying that's what you saying.
I know, but that's not what Mark Henry is saying. That's not what JBL in the background of Mark Henry is saying. They're trying to make the argument that there was money to be made and money makes everything okay. So even if you're being exploited or even if you're being mistreated, if there was money around, you need to shut up and keep it going. And I'm saying, no, you're doing something that people don't appreciate, whether money's involved or not. Whether the money stopped or was flowing is still wrong. And you can't be using money to justify everything. This turns into a different story with other realms of life, like sexual assault and all. Well, I'll never even say that in this day and age.
But that's not reflective of what they were talking about, though. Like
he's trying to justify it by saying they had money, and it was all good when the money was there, and now that money isn't there. I
think you're projecting, Venkat.
I'm literally saying what he's saying. Look what it says. Where was the suffering when they were getting BMWs and $1 million? Where was all the moaning and groaning when all that was happening? Once the money slowed up, people are talking about, oh my God, I'm being violated. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to diminish what is being said about Vince McMahon because he had a good experience with Vince McMahon. And for some reason, he wants to, as Trevor would say, cape for Vince McMahon. I don't know where he got that S off his chest, but he need to put it on his ass.
Well, I mean, yeah, I ain't looking too much into it like that. You know, a couple of weeks ago, Bobby Lashley said the same thing. He said that Vince understood him. So, I mean, you can't deny like what these people are saying from an individual standpoint of what their relationship was with Vince.
Look, I mean, Vince McMahon could be good, very good for some people, and be very bad for others. This is understood. Bobby Lashley just got the wrong side of the deal with Triple H. Maybe Triple H just doesn't have a place in what he's got going on, so it's bad for him. But if if Bobby Lashley was on top of the world and things were rocking and rolling, I beg to differ to see how he would even be talking right now. He had a good moment with Vince McMahon. So what? Big deal. A lot of guys had good moments with Vince McMahon. That doesn't mean he's not still a very bad person that did bad things.
I should have screenshotted them, but I didn't. But you see the comment from Bret Hart saying that Vince McMahon can rot in hell and stuff like that. So this is very divided.
Of course. But I just hate when people utilize, like, it reminds me of Claire Huxtable or like Felicia Rashad. Like, Bill Cosby drugged all these women, assaulted all these women for decades. It comes out later. Now when the news comes out, what she does? Oh, well, he was good to me. I made millions of dollars with this guy. What do you and your relationship with him have to do with the relationship of the people he violated? I never understood that. And it's okay, I get it. It's one thing, like, you feel a kinship with somebody. You're like, well, there's no way. If a person did something, a person did something. I mean, come on. You can't, just because they mean a certain thing to you doesn't mean they don't mean what they mean to others. And I just find it very short-sighted. Very short-sighted. Like, you're like Jeffrey Dahmer's parents. You know, you can love your kid. I'm just saying, you can love your kid all day long, but he did what he did.
I was just about to bring Dahmer. Man. Hey, shocking. I don't disagree with Venkat at all. The only thing I say, piece of Xavier Martinez, shout out to Mike in the building. So I'm with Bones here though. Bones says that I agree with his comments. I agree with his comments too, because here's the deal. I'm not gonna change from what I said when we did the show about Vince and Janelle Grant. I made it a point to say, like, very convenient that he missed the payment, and now all of a sudden you're saying is you were okay when you were getting the money being his toy and everything, and all is still allegedly because nothing's been proven yet. So I'm gonna say allegedly. But there was no problem until the payment was missed, which was in the document that the payment was missed, and that's when she finally felt like, oh yeah, let me go finally tell now. So I think it is no different from Venkat. Me and you are probably going to get in an argument later. Peace to Hassan Taro. Shout out to the Twitter watchers. Venkat, me and you probably going to get in an argument later when we talk about Kevin Sullivan, because you feel differently about Chris Benoit than I do. Hot and cold water could come out of the same faucet. Chris Benoit did something heinous, and we know for a fact that he did it. But me and you are probably gonna argue about it, which is fine. But I just so I can see both ends of the spectrum. But I do get what you're saying, Venkat, and you bring up the Felicia Rashad part, and then you brought up the Dahmer thing, which was funny because his neighbors will always tell you, like, I had no idea he was such a good boy and things like that. We only speak off of our experiences that we know of him. You saw what Bradshaw was doing. Mark Henry probably needs to be trained in like social media etiquette. He's speaking just like, all right, I'm his friend, so I'm going to talk just as candidly as possible. Whereas with JBL, who's on Fox and who does all this type of stuff, JBL is like, man, hey, if and maybe, and he's using those certain words because he doesn't want to get any heat on him. So you could feel how you want to feel about your friend, but I agree with Venkat though, as far as whenever they always bring the money thing up, because I've done it in this situation. It was completely about money. She did everything she's alleged him to do was all based on money. Come on, man. He's a 70-year-old guy with a young chick. What the hell else could she want from him? Uh-oh, who fell off? Damn, Venkat fell off.
Like I was saying, I don't think talent should be compelled to even speak on it. From, that's just me. You know what I mean? I don't see it as it being anything forbidden. Like that don't make any sense to me. Especially when you done made so much money with the man for a certain amount of time. Like, it is what it is. They weren't lying when they said it. They made a lot of money. Oh, I don't know what. Oh man, Trev fell off. Give it a second, folks.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know what happened.
I know my screen freezed up and then I got knocked out. And now I see Trevor is in here.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Y'all said y'all were having bad weather down there, right?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy over here. Oh man.
All right,
So
we'll give it a second.
yeah. So as long as he's, we'll wait for Trevor to come. So any continuation on that? Like anything else you wanted to add to that with Mark Henry and Vince and any other perspectives on it?
I mean, no, that was pretty much it, man. Like, me personally, like I said, I don't think anybody should feel compelled to go outside of what their experiences are, especially in a situation like that, which is like revealing. Now, for all intents and purposes, if
what the hell
it comes,
happened?
I don't know. I've been here the whole time. I don't know. I don't know. I
That's
have
weird
no idea.
though that it would kick all us off though.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah,
I don't know.
But like I was saying, just me personally, I don't feel like any one of the talents that dealt with Vince at any point in time should feel compelled to go outside of their way to either try to shy away or demonize. You know what I mean? All they can do is go off of what their experiences are. So, in the aspect of how the question was asked, I don't feel no type of way about what Mark Henry said, like at all.
So Xavier, Venkat highlighted. So turns out bad people can have good relations with others, but that doesn't negate their terrible actions. Henry's invalidating others' experiences because he had good experience is no bueno. Which again, that's what Venkat's saying. I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. But but in that same regard, I'm not going to then turn around and say that he can't feel the way that he does about his friend. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. But I just think the way he's doing this, it's just pretty crappy, man. It's pretty bad when people do stuff like that. I've always hated that. Like, come on, man. Come on. Like, I don't care what member of my family did what. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm not down with that if you're wrong. And you need to do better, as Trevor would say, and course correct and make things right. You don't double down on stupid. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Venkat, I hope you don't contradict yourself when we start talking about the whole Benoit thing. I just hope you don't.
Wait a minute. Hold on now.
we gonna get to it. Don't worry. We coming up.
Lord.
We coming up. So all right. So let's move on from the Mark Henry stuff. I promise you, we're gonna get to the AEW preview, man. It ain't gonna be too long. So there was unfortunately another death in the professional wrestling world. Afa from the Wild Samoans passed away. Was it Thursday or Friday? Afa is the uncle of Roman Reigns, whose father died the end of June. So both brothers died, within a few months of each other.
That's crazy.
Yeah, people saying they're reuniting up there now. I mean, so
people like to say that when people die that's close to each other in a close proximity of time, that the other one died of a broken heart. They like to say that.
Yeah, they normally say that with like couples, especially elderly couples.
Yeah.
Yeah, they died of a broken heart or something. They follow each other like really quick. MD with the future blackmail at my own heart. So any thoughts on Officer? I'm see again. I don't make stuff up. I'm not gonna act like I followed the Wild Samoans. I followed the Samoan SWAT team. I can tell you everything about them.
Yeah.
The only thing about the Wild Samoans that I know is that they were the ones that lost to Rocky Johnson and what's the big muscle
Tony
bound black
Atlas.
Tony Atlas for the tag titles. So any thoughts on the passing the Alpha now?
Yeah. I don't have that full background of their history and whatnot, and I'll blame WWE for that because although the one big criticism that the WWF got for many decades in the wrestling magazines I used to read and in other areas, they would always talk about their lack of promoting the past and how they love to ignore others. If it's not going on today, it doesn't matter. And they just bypass everything. You get people coming from other areas and they become these whole different new people, and everything they've done in the past is just ignored. And I think that's always been a misstep. You have Dusty Rhodes come in there and he's wearing polka dots and doing silly stuff when he was one of the greatest champions of all time, and he was in the WWF wrestling for that world title, and he's back in there, and then we act like he's this new guy. They have a history issue, and they never really promoted the history of not only their own league but overall wrestling. Now in modern years with the Hall of Fame and things like that, they've made better strides at it. But these guys should be household names. I mean, people are gonna say, well, yeah, they are, but nah, when I mean household name, I mean people that don't watch wrestling should know you. Like Hulk Hogan, I can say that to my mom, Hulk Hogan. She knows who the hell Hulk Hogan is. So, you can say The Rock. She knows who Rock is. My grandma probably knows who Hulk Hogan is. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about, because they never really gave us the information and stories of like the past like they should have. They're not really held up. And then you see that even like people as strong as Bruno Sammartino, who's like the definitive greatest champion WWF ever had. And a lot of people don't know who the hell he is. And if they do know him, they don't know how much of an impact he really made. So that I blame everything on WWE. They suck. But rest in peace. At least they got a long life. But it's sad to always see when somebody go.
I don't disagree with anything Vank has said until the end. One of the most egregious things that I've always complained about is you have the WWE network and they don't put any old school Madison Square Garden house shows on there. Is your network, fill it up, put the old house shows on there so we could see it. Put all the times Rowdy Piper and Hogan wrestle for the title. Put all the times, Mr. Wonderful and Hogan wrestle for the titles, but they never do it. All the Wild Samoan matches for the title, they never did that. So I don't disagree with that.
I would also take it a step further. I always believe, because in wrestling they have all these storylines, and it would be nice to get like they do a little bit of it.
Company has storylines,
huh?
Only one company has storylines.
Oh, well, they do storylines. So there's been so many great storylines and feuds and rivalries, but they don't really, analyze it like from start to finish. Like I think there's some YouTube channels that they do a good job of showing like how an angle started, what was the catalyst for the beginning, and you go all the way to the end until it's over, and they give you all the in-betweens. I wish they would do that, like, and it doesn't have to be WWE, and they love doing that. It's always Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, it's always Cena and Randy Orton. Enough of that. Like, give me like Freebirds, Von Erich, or something, something from those yesteryears, things that you know of. Show me some Gorgeous George stuff. Show me stuff that isn't typical. I wish
They
they would
own
do more of
they own the footage to everything.
that. Exactly.
So this is crazy because I was gonna ask Venkat a question and he just led right into it. You ain't gotta answer me now. Try to answer me before you get off. What is and don't tell me why, just tell me what. What is your greatest storyline of all time? Just think about it and let me know before we get off. MD, any thoughts on the passing the offer?
Yeah, I agree with Venkat, man. It's sad that we didn't see more implementation of telling the story of the bloodline in totality, and the Wild Samoans definitely a part of that. Not saying they had to be a part of the storyline itself, but at the very least, they could have came up with some packages, exemplifying like what the tradition of the Anoa'i family is. You know what I mean? And I think they dropped the ball on that. So I agree 100% with what Venkat said. So yeah, R.I.P. Alpha
You
and
know
Anoa'i.
you know the biggest testament to what Venkat is saying, and I told Venkat this because when it happened, I was pissed. Like I went on a whole rant about this. Is when Paul Ellering made his debut in NXT, those losers in the crowd was chanting, "Who are you?" Man,
Disrespectful.
if ever there was a time where I was going to quit watching, that was it. Because I just felt like you can't not know who the manager of one of the greatest tag teams of all time is, and where you're audibly chanting, "Who are you?" Like that shit just pissed me off, man. But yeah, speaking of the bloodline storyline, I remember when this happened. This was after he defeated Jey Uso, and Afa and Sika walked out on the stage, and Sika put the Ulafala around Roman Reigns' neck, crowning him the head of the table. I thought that was one of the greatest moments in wrestling, and this was during the Thunderdome era, so there was no fans in the building. I'm glad that they weren't, because had they been in there, they probably would have been chanting, "Who are you?" to these two guys.
Exactly. Exactly.
They would have been like, "Who the hell were you? Like, who are these two old guys?" So, Afa and Sika reuniting. I mean, you whatever you believe. I'm not here to say who believes what, but in a matter of months, Roman Reigns loses his father and his uncle. Just terrible. I do feel sorry for that family. So rest in peace to the Wild Samoans and their family. So we did have one more death this week in pro wrestling. And this one we're gonna touch more on, just because I actually know this guy. So Kevin Sullivan died recently. And Kevin Sullivan was to me like the archetype of he was the forerunner of the Bray Wyatt character. He was the forerunner of the Undertaker character. And some people be like, "Oh man, no, they were nothing alike." Yes, they were. Everything that Kevin Sullivan did tested the waters for what those guys would eventually do. So
I would agree with that wholeheartedly.
So Kevin and the thing about Kevin Sullivan, he was just so stocky, and he wasn't a big guy. He was thick. He was more thick than anything. But and with that Boston accent, and you just knew he was a brawler. Like he'd always go in there and fight. Nothing flashy about him. He just go in there and he just like fight you and things like that. So I did get a little well, real quick, MD, what's just give me a quick thoughts on Kevin Sullivan, and then we'll go through some of his career highlights.
Yeah, man. Kevin Sullivan, my earliest experience with Kevin Sullivan was in ECW. I didn't know any of the championship wrestling from Florida stuff and all that. And, that was before my time. So my earliest seeing of Kevin Sullivan was ECW, like 94. That's when I first saw Kevin Sullivan. Then, he went to WCW and started booking, and the rest was history. I always saw Kevin Sullivan as like a tough SOB. You know what I mean? Especially during the Benoit saga. Yeah, I mean, his body type was different. Like I said, short, stocky, doing the Sullivan stump and all that. to me, he was the person that solidified everything that I know about WCW in the time that I was watching. Because he, me not knowing back then, but me knowing now that he was so instrumental behind the scene, good and bad. I ain't saying he had some flaw because he did, but he was instrumental in stuff like, for instance, having Conan in Dungeon of Doom and allowing Conan to be the liaison between the guys coming from Mexico and implementing the whole lucha style. And like, he was instrumental in 90s WCW, period. Without Kevin Sullivan, a lot of stuff don't happen. That's just a fact. So, if it's anybody that you need to credit in terms of shaping how the Monday Night Wars went, Kevin Sullivan is one of them. You know what I mean? So, behind the scenes, underrated in terms of the impact that he had personally on me as far as how I viewed wrestling. So, definitely RIP to him. We we lost a great one.
Venkat, what's your quick thoughts on Kevin Sullivan? We're going to run down his career, but what's your quick thoughts on him?
Well, in the late 80s, he was the games master, Kevin Sullivan. In the mid 90s, he was the taskmaster. He just seemed to always be like one of the lead guys involved in like a stable that was always like the big threat to the good guys. Yeah, he was a threat to the Horsemen. He was a threat to the varsity. Well, he was a member of the Varsity Club, but he was a threat to Sting and all these other people that that were around WCW at the time. He's not like the technical genius, but he didn't have to be. With his psychology, with his rugged, tough in-ring style, and then to find out later on his influence in the back. Yeah, he's definitely a legendary player. And I don't remember him, especially from like shoot interviews and things that I've watched of him. I don't remember him being like Hogan or any of these other guys that like create backstage drama to get their way and stuff like that. I mean, you guys will tell me if there's something. I don't know, but
no, I was actually going to say that when we got into it. I don't remember anything. So what you hear about Ole Anderson, you never hear about him.
Exactly. That's a great point. And they almost look the same too. Just that one is good and one is bad.
They came up the same time.
Yeah.
Kevin Sullivan always made sure that the business was ahead of anything he had going. Remember, and I think we're gonna get into it. Remember, he put the belt on Benoit. He was the one that did it in WCW.
Even with the affair.
And he gave Dark Journey her chance. He the one put Dark Journey on TV. The sister. So let's get into this real quick. You just got a quick remembering Kevin Sullivan. So Kevin Sullivan is a former professional wrestler, manager, and booker whose career spans several decades, particularly known for his work in the 1970s through the 1990s. Born October 26, 1949. In Boston, which is why you got that lingo. Sullivan carved out a unique niche in the world of professional wrestling, both as an in-ring performer and behind the scenes as a creative force. So his early career, Sullivan began his wrestling career in the early 70s, initially competing as a babyface. I didn't know he was a babyface. He just never struck me as a face. In various regional promotions, he quickly developed a reputation as a solid, technically sound wrestler, but it wasn't until he embarked a darker, more sinister persona that his career truly began to take off. So in the late 70s and early 80s, Sullivan transformed into one of the world's most memorable heel characters. He adopted the moniker the Taskmaster and became infamous for his satanic occult-like gimmick, particularly in FCW. So the first thing I remember him from. So I don't know if you younger guys remember this group, but I remember this group, and this used to scare the hell out of me. Venkat, I know you You remember this when they used to do those promos, they do the promos like by the lake, and they'd be coming up out of the lake and he just talk, the lighting will be so dim and it'd be so eerie, and it just this was, I'm telling you, every heel dark wrestling stable is credited to these guys. Hell, he got Sir Oliver Humperdinck. Humperdinck looked like he was a wrestler. I mean, terrible body, but he looked like a wrestler. I don't know who the guy is with the snake wrapped around him. And then you have Woman. We'll get into her. We'll get into her in a bit. So this character was heavily influenced by the burgeoning popularity of horror movies and the satanic panic of the era. And they used to get a lot of heat for this, like legit heat, because in the South, them Christian people there, they don't play that satanic stuff. And you're doing this at the wrestling show. You legit got grandmas trying to hit you with their loaded purse. Like these guys got legit heat doing these characters. Sullivan's promos and matches were often filled with eerie, unsettling imagery, which made him one of the most feared and despised villains in wrestling. During this period, Sullivan led the Army of Darkness, a stable of wrestlers who were portrayed as followers of his dark teachings. This storyline was ahead of its time in terms of psychology, complexity, and the way it blurred lines between fiction and reality, contributing significantly to the growth and popularity of professional wrestling in Florida. So, championship wrestling and feuds throughout the 1980s, Kevin Sullivan continued to build his legacy in the various territories, including a notable run in JCP, which later became World Championship Wrestling. He engaged in high profile feuds with wrestling legends such as Dusty Rhodes, Mike Graham, and Blackjack Mulligan. His in-ring style was brutal and methodical, often incorporating elements of hardcore wrestling that were relatively rare for the time. So yeah, again, with him, he did stuff, that brawling style that you see, like the Cactus Jack, just throw your body, throw caution to the wind and things like that. He used to do all that. So I forgot he was a member of the Varsity Club. I really forgot that. So last month I did a top 10 top guys never to win the WWF title. I don't ever remember a time Kevin Sullivan ever challenged for like any title. Was he ever a champion?
I'm sure he was, maybe TV or something, but I can't like remember specific. He had to have been at least one time. He had to have been something.
Probably tag team. So, but here's my question: why couldn't he chase babyface Dusty?
He's too little, man. It's too short. I don't know.
You don't see him as believable, challenging Dusty?
I would, if he goes up against Dusty, I don't think there's any jeopardy, unless like outside interference, maybe outside interference of other people. But I mean, yeah, he was a villainous character for most of that time,
and
it would make sense. It would make sense.
He had a stable.
Yeah,
that's interesting that you said that. I wasn't expecting you to go to his stature right off the bat. That's very interesting.
When I think of him, I think of Dungeon of Doom days, and then that feud with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan towers over him, so it looks kind of silly. This little ass guy with a pot belly, messing with Hogan. I remember that, and especially like in the War Games, I just remember those moments. So,
and because of what you just said, that's why Vince McMahon was the way he was, because he was like, it wouldn't look. He said it wouldn't look good when Bret Hart swore everybody down that he was getting a shot at Hogan at SummerSlam. Vince was like, it does not look good. Hogan towers over you. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all. So, yeah, so there you go with that. So Sullivan's influence extended beyond his wrestling persona. He was also a highly respected booker. He is perhaps best known for his work in WCW during the 1990s, where he played a key role in crafting some of the promotion's most memorable storylines. He was instrumental in the development of the Dungeon of Doom, a stable designed to take down Hulk Hogan. Let's talk about the Dungeon of Doom. Hold on.
Dungeon of Misfits.
Oh my goodness. So hold on, let me finish. He was designed to take down Hulk Hogan, who had recently joined WCW. While the Dungeon of Doom storyline is often remembered for its over-the-top campy nature, it was part of a broader effort by Sullivan to bring character-driven storylines into WCW, which helped the company compete with the WWF during the Monday Night War. So, MD, what's your thoughts on the Dungeon of Doom?
In the beginning, it was bad, like real bad.
Good, bad, or good, bad, or terrible bad?
No, it was bad.
Bad.
It grew on me a little bit, like in the later stages when they added, like when the Giant came, and
that's the only legitimate threat they had was a Giant.
So, but I mean, yeah, it was pretty bad. But like I said, looking back at it now in retrospect, it helped a lot in terms of what he was developing on the back end. So, I don't even trip on it. It's wrestling at the end of the day. I mean, you got to have quirky stuff like that at some point. So,
I loved it.
Yeah, Beefcake is the wildest looking nigga on there.
So you know how they ruined the Beefcake when the Zodiac, that he infiltrated the Dungeon of Doom to get Hulk Hogan a leg up, some convoluted ass storyline that they ended up coming up with. Just ridiculous.
That's got to be Hulk Hogan coming up with that one.
But okay,
yeah, that was Hogan.
So you mentioned Hulk Hogan. Look at all these guys. You got 1, 2, 3, almost 400-pound guys.
The meat market.
What was the Vince McMahon formula? Just feed Big Monster X to Hulk Hogan. So now they're trying this in WCW.
Which is crazy because it's already been done. It's just being done they're way more out of shape. They're older, and we're retreading the same matches. That's 100% Hogan, man. He doesn't want to get in the ring with guys he don't know and he don't trust. So I'm not going to face the Steiner brothers.
Are you crazy?
Or Luger or somebody those young studs in WCW. We're not going to mess with them guys. Give me the old geezers that's been in the WWF for years that I've met 100 times over. That's stale booking, man. Stale booking.
You know there was a pitch to bring Yoko back, but Yoko was over 600 pounds at the time because Hogan wanted to get his win back.
Isn't that so? That lets you know, because he did that to Warrior. That lets you know the level of petty.
He did it to Roddy Piper.
Well, I will say this though: Roddy Piper at least won a non title match.
The sleeper hole.
Yeah, with the sleeper hole. At least he got that out of it. Because in WWF in the mid 80s, they had this highly heated match that really should have been the main event to WrestleMania. It shouldn't have been a tag team match. Should have been them. Nobody wanted to give up an inch. Yeah, nobody wants to lose.
So like you was losing the 5 count.
So, I mean, this is wrestling, a scripted sport with quotations in the air, and we got some of the most fragile egos on these big, gigantic men. It's so embarrassing, so embarrassing.
Yeah, Piper and Hogan should have. Hell, Orndorff and Hogan should have main evented WrestleMania 2. Piper and Hogan should have did 1.
See, you just did the ultimate booking right there. That would have been legendary, and that's what it should have been.
And Hogan should have been going in as the challenger, because it seemed to me like all Vince wanted to do was because for like the first 10 years, It wasn't until WrestleMania 16 that a heel left, that they went off the air with a heel champion, and that was during WrestleMania 2000, which was terrible. But so it seemed to me like the whole thing was always to have Hulk Hogan leave as champion. So why not put the belt on one of these other guys and just have Hogan win it back at Mania? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want him to be champion so bad, just have him win it back at Mania. That's, but what? Because to me, the money is always in the chase. So, whatever. But yeah, the Dungeon of Doom. Can we not forget about the greatest match in WCW history?
Oh,
the
God,
Alliance.
not the Tower.
Yeah,
Not
the Alliance to end Hulkamania
Lord.
versus Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man in the Triple Tower of Doom.
Two guys versus like 15 other guys. The insulting. The thing is that that tower was it was utilized in the Great American Bash '88. That's the first time that I believe they made that tower where you had the 3 cages stacked up, and it was okay. It was the Road Warriors was in it, the Midnight Express, and back in '88 they could almost do no wrong back in Jim Crockett days. So it came out good with the crowd cheering and everything going wild. In that, I bought that pay-per-view in '96. I think that was uncensored. It was horrible, boring, and just ridiculous.
I can't believe you bought that. At that time, we had the black box. We got the black box in '94. So I was watching all pay-per-views for free for like a 10-year run. But yeah, that cage match was terrible.
Yeah, it was
just awful. So Sullivan also had a hand in booking, and I thought I had a picture of that cage match you're talking about because I looked it up and I thought I took a picture of it. I probably just never put it in the studio. Sullivan also had a hand in booking during the height of WCW success, including during the rise of the NWO, although his exact contributions during this period have been the subject of much debate amongst wrestlers. So let's get into some of the more hotter stuff. So we all remember Fall Brawl. Was this 95 or 96? The infamous "I Respect You, Mr. Booker" man against Brian Pillman, where they just went in there.
Cannon.
Yeah, they just went in there and just legit had a shoot fist fight, and then Brian Pillman just was like, "I respect you, Booker, man," and walked out. And Arn Anderson had to come out and finish the match. MD, do you remember this? Had you start watching by this time?
Yeah. I remember that. I remember this whole thing with the Horsemen and Dungeon of Doom. But yeah, I remember it. It was weird because I didn't know like what was going on. but yeah, I do. I definitely remember.
So this was during the time, and to answer Bones' question, yeah, the Yeti was in Dungeon of Doom. We try not to bring up the Yeti. I don't know why you're going to call a mummy the Yeti. I mean, a Yeti is an abominable snowman. Like, what the hell are you calling the Yeti for? And poor Tony Schiavone, man. My goodness, that man just was a subject of much foolishness. So the story behind this, and Vega could correct me if I'm wrong, Brian Pillman was working without a contract. This is where Eric Bischoff told him, hey, work an angle so people don't know, like, if you're going to go to WWF or you're going to stay with us. So he literally was working without a contract, and he ended up getting an offer from WWF that he ended up signing. So Eric Bischoff literally gave him, carte blanche to do whatever he wanted to do. That's how I remember this going.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah, he went to ECW.
Yeah.
And Bischoff told him, hey, look, see what you can work out with WWF and then come back and let me know. And if you go over there, get enough heat, we'll bring you back. You know what I'm saying? But rest was history.
Yeah, that pretty much killed him. Just like they murdered Bret Hart's brother.
Oh, here you go.
Vince McMahon murdered that guy. They murdered Brian Pillman. Everybody just
no. Yeah,
he was flying behind
I ain't
And he
gonna
was
let
just
you.
dying buying in WWE.
I ain't gonna let you say that over here. You ain't getting me in trouble. Hell no, hell no.
I'm
You
just
better
saying
learn how
that
to. You better
that guy
learn how
was
to use
breathing in WCW.
learn how to use allegedly. So when you talk about he off them, you gotta what's the word? You gotta damn, I'm drawing a blank.
Quotations.
No, you gotta make a distinction between what are you talking about, like the physical offing him or his career, because I was going to ask you, this is probably one of the biggest wasted potential, and the derailing of his career was the accident with the shattered foot. That's what did it. He just never got right. Like it seemed like with him, every time he was getting ready for a run, because remember they were getting ready to heat him up with Austin, and then he got into the accident. That's why they had to write him off with the shattering thing. Now, because again, y'all tell me I don't criticize WWF. Watching it now, it was horrendous for Vince McMahon to have that man's wife on TV.
Yeah.
That was terrible. That was terrible. But as far as Van Cat
One of the
saying,
most cringiest angles
yeah.
ever with Austin breaking into the house.
Oh my God,
I
that
love
gun,
that.
the
Oh, I
gun,
love that. Oh, okay, get
the
out of here.
gun. Come on, man, that's
Get
some
out of here.
lame stuff,
That was
man.
fantastic.
That's lame duck
Get out
territory
of
right
here.
there.
Get out of here. That was tremendous, man.
Oh,
He said Austin 316 is gonna hear my Glock 9mm. Oh, that was fantastic,
that's
man.
ridiculous.
So what I'm talking about is after he died and they
Yeah.
had his wife do that interview.
Yeah, the interview.
That was terrible. You could tell she was so uncomfortable, and looking at it now, that's why I could go back and look at some of this stuff now and be like, that was bad. Just like I tell you, the WrestleMania 12 main event wasn't good. Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart wasn't good. C+ at best. That's why Bret Hart is such a C+ wrestler.
Oh my God! Don't blame Bret Hart for that.
Y'all keep telling me that what I'm saying is not true. Bret Hart is
He's damn good. He is very good.
A good B- for Bret Hart.
Not
a good B-. I give him a B-.
You can't do what he does.
Of course, I can't do what he does.
No, I don't mean you. I just mean in general. You can't have a guy walk up in that ring, do those things that he does. Ring psychology, execution of the moves, telling the story. I mean, there was no weakness except for the talking part. And even then, he got better over time.
Better when he turned heel.
Right. He got better over time. So, man, you got to give that guy his respect, man. Now, the other issue is, people keep saying Bret Hart keep crying about everything. Like, everything that happened in WCW, everything that happened in WWE. He's always moaning and groaning about Goldberg trying to hurt him for real. I don't think he tried to hurt him for real, but whatever.
Hey, check this out. Let excellence. Yeah, here go Bones. I knew I can get him out of hiding. We gonna do a Bret Hart and WCW show. Yeah, we're gonna do a Bret Hart and WCW.
Why?
Huh?
I said why?
Because I feel like Vince McMahon sent him over there to infiltrate WCW.
No, he didn't.
That was terrible, man.
It was not terrible.
Oh, it was awful. His WCW run was terrible.
It was not.
His WCW run was god awful, man. So see, even Bones is like the biggest Bret Hart fan I've ever seen. And everybody knows his WCW run. So, okay, I thought I had this picture, but I didn't. So before we get into this one that we see on the screen, Kevin Sullivan always seems to be in these angles with these women, because Venkat brought it up about the Tower of Doom at the Great American Bash. That was the main heat in that match was Kevin Sullivan and Jimmy Jam Garvin, because for some reason Kevin Sullivan just wouldn't leave Precious alone. Like he just kept He locked her up in the cage and he was just stalking her, and it was weird. Like he gets in these storylines with these women. So his real wife Nancy, woman, what they were married. So Venkat, you tell the story because I don't want to mix it up. I don't want to say anything.
I ain't got nothing to say there. I ain't got nothing to say.
So from what? So the way it is she was messing with Benoit.
Yep. She was horned with Benoit, and that was it.
So,
but Kevin Sullivan booked it that way. Kevin Sullivan booked it to where they was traveling together, being seen in public. He did all of that. He did it to make it kayfabe. I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying for the sake of kayfabe, he did all that, and they developed a relationship.
I'm gonna blame him. I'm gonna blame him. And this is not me.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're gonna blame him?
Yes. Don't let this, man. Y'all understand what I'm about to say here. Don't let this come off as me disrespecting the dead. The only one of these unfortunately, all these people up here are dead. But the one I will disrespect is the one on the far right. But he won't
let it go.
So I said this the other day with Ricochet. He has Samantha Irvin still in WWE. You can't tell me that now that he's not in that company, that every wrestler over there not going to shoot their shot at her.
Yeah, but that's not his fault.
It's a different time.
Hold on. But especially with y'all following on social media, everybody's here. This guy books an angle, a TV angle. You don't, once the cameras turn off, you don't have to go through with everything. You don't have to have them traveling together. You don't have to have them always being in such close proximity of each other. You're asking for somebody to smash your girl. Look at Benoit compared to him. Like, just you asking for somebody to smash your girl. You can't put women in that closer proximity with a man where they're always traveling with them. They're always interacting with them, probably more than they are with you. And when she needs emotional support, there he go. There got that shoulder to lean on. You don't think one day she's going to be like, oh, it just fell in.
So what does that say about the individual then, Trevor? That means she was trash to begin with, right?
Have you listened to Man Talk Monday? Of course they're trash. Of course.
Well, I ain't gonna go that far, but again, like I said, a different time. You can't. Again, kayfabe was everything back then. You know what I mean? In the '90s, so I get it. But in terms of how the locker room saw it, the writing was on the wall. Plus, the alleged stories of what was going on at home between them anyway. So, you know what I mean? Maybe it was him precognitively getting rid of her.
That shoulder to cry on.
Yeah, right. So I mean, it's a lot of ways that you can go at it. I'll never blame either party for it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So that's what it is. And in all actuality, he did this before. And like I said, my first encounter with Kevin Sullivan was in ECW. When he was feuding with the Sandman, he did the same thing because woman turned on him for the Sandman, and they booked it the same exact. Well, not the same exact way. From a kayfabe standpoint, they did. They was traveling together, her and Sandman. So maybe he got the idea from that.
Didn't they do like the cross thing?
Yeah, that was Sandman and
that was Raven.
That's what made
Raven.
Yeah, that's what made Kurt Angle not sign with them. But again, look at the Sandman. Look at the Sandman. What woman is actively trying to cheat with the Sandman? Come on, man. The one thing I learned about being on Man Talk Monday, shout out to Mike to Man Talk Monday, teaching men about women Mondays at 6. Absolutely. Hey, one thing I learned is you got to just keep it real, man. Look at, I'm no fan of Chris Benoit and what he did, but look at him and look at the Sandman.
At least I'll say this. Kevin Sullivan had in her better days in the 80s. She looked better in the 80s than she did when she was in WC.
Oh yeah,
I'll at least give him that.
when she used to manage Doom. Oh yeah.
I'll at least give her that.
She was just the mysterious woman then. All right, yeah, man.
She just looked like a bunch of problems to me. That's what she looked like.
Oh man, so we didn't completely disrespected them. So that's hey, well that's what you get over here. After WCW was purchased in 2021, Sullivan's presence in mainstream wrestling began to wane, which was weird. Although he continued to work in various capacities in smaller promotions, he also remained active on the independent circuit as both a performer and a booker, passing on his vast knowledge to the next generation of wrestling. Sullivan's legacy in professional wrestling is complex and multifaceted. As a performer, he was a pioneer of dark psychological characters, paving the way for future stars like The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt. As a booker, he was instrumental in some of the most significant wrestling storylines in the 1990s, contributing to the success of WCW during one of the most competitive eras in wrestling. Today, Kevin Sullivan is remembered as one of the most innovative minds in professional wrestling, a man whose creative vision helped shape industry in the ways they are still felt today. His career, marked by both in-ring success and backstage influence, has earned him a place in wrestling history as a true original. Rest in peace to Kevin Sullivan. So love the teachings, keep them going. So what I do want to do is, so you see how we just went through Kevin Sullivan's career and we were still able to kind of clown him a little bit, but then we still came back to the respect angle for him. You got to kind of figure that's probably how Mark Henry was feeling about Vince. Because a lot of those guys will tell you they see Vince McMahon as a father figure. Vince McMahon is their hero. Vince McMahon this, Vince McMahon that. It's funny, his kids don't ever talk about him like that, but that's another thing. What's your final words on old Kevin Sullivan?
I thought it was it seemed like he had a really interesting, unnormal, fun, exciting life. And he did what he wanted to do for much of his life. He was able to take part in wrestling during the biggest time of wrestling, the 80s and 90s. He was instrumental in those lightning rod years. His influence was felt. And he didn't screw nobody over for the most part. Even people that screwed him over, like Chris Benoit, he still gave him the title years later. So the guy seemed like a stand-up guy to me, and wish there was more people like him.
So Bones is saying he worked with CCW within the last 6 to 8 years. That's, man, okay. CCW is the indie show that we went to last year. I know Gangrel works for them. I actually saw Gangrel at the Dunkin' Donuts last year. So Venkat, let me ask you this before we go to MD. Have you ever heard of him ever having any heat with Vince McMahon or anything? And the reason I asked that is because when WCW went out of business, he would have been the first person I would have got on the creative team.
Yeah, you would think so. With all that wealth of knowledge that he has, all that experience, you would think so. But I don't know. Maybe I don't see Kevin Sullivan as solely like a WCW guy, because he's been other places. You know, I don't really see him like that. But Vince McMahon has this weird thing with WCW talent, like trying to undermine them. Maybe they had a conversation and he just didn't, like Sting, he felt some way and he didn't take it. I don't know, but I don't know of any meetings they may have had over the years.
Yeah, that's weird, man. That he never. I don't think he ever worked in WWE. Now that I think about it, I've never seen him.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And
now I saw a shoot interview that he did. And he wasn't like implying it to WWE, but he said that the concept of like agents is not how you book a wrestling show. You know what I mean? He said that everything should be within the committee or the individual booker. You don't. He said you don't choreograph matches and I guess separate it from the angle itself. So I assume that he was implying that to WWE. I don't know,
He would have had
but
to.
take it for what it's worth.
So MD, what's your thoughts on him? And then I want to bring up something else that I recently saw on him.
Again, if I had to describe him, I'll say he was selfless. You know what I mean? He did everything to better the business, despite whether it put him on top or not. You know what I mean? The wealth of knowledge that he gained throughout the course of his career was exemplified to me in WCW, and I think he was instrumental. I like I said, a lot of the stuff that happened in WCW doesn't happen without Kevin Sullivan. That's just what it is. So he shaped, my perspective of wrestling by me not even knowing it in the early ages of my life. So, like I said, again, R.I.P. to him.
So, all right. So here, this is going to be the argument starter. We'll see, and we get into this AEW card. We get into it. When I was doing, looking up some Kevin Sullivan facts, I happened to stumble on a GoFundMe page, and this obviously is before he died. They were trying to raise, I want to say like $50,000-$60,000 for an operation. I don't know if he ever got it, because I don't know how old the GoFundMe page was, but it was like the first thing that popped up when I typed his name in. So, and it was active still as of like a couple of days ago. So,
probably to pay the funeral costs.
So you know what I'm about to ask. Kevin Sullivan, respected mind in the business, been wrestling since the 70s. So what's that? Over 50 years in the business. They shout out to Logan McNally. Over 50 years in the business, they got to have a GoFundMe page for him.
Of course. Just because you're in the business, and remember that time in the business, that at least that first chunk of it is probably not really profitable, big time money.
So hold on before you go further. Let me clarify what I'm saying here. Kevin Sullivan, wrestling pioneer, over 50 years in the business, worked for WCW in its peak. You mean to tell me some wrestlers couldn't pull together some bigger companies? And man, and Venkat, I'm not the guy that's going to tell you, I'm not the guy that's going to agree with you and say that Vince McMahon should be paying for everything. But you don't think some bigger wrestling companies could go in their pockets and contribute?
Well, some of these companies have problems keeping their lights on. So I don't know if they'll be able to do that. I don't know if it's anybody's responsibility. I would say it would be more so like individual wrestlers that were close to him. Like, like how Jericho just when he donated to Virgil's GoFundMe or whatever it was that he had, and the $1 million for the funeral, $1 Million Man, I think he did what, $200 or something like that. I don't know what it was, but some low figure. It would have to be the individuals that was impacted by him during the years and want to do it. I know Hogan ain't doing nothing, but
yeah, Mike says if Hogan ain't got it, no one got it. Hogan got that Gawker money. Hogan got that loot,
and it would have been nice for him to do that. I mean, Kevin Sullivan accommodated for Hulk Hogan very much so.
Because when everybody was booing the shit out of Hulk Hogan, he the one had to help in that pivot.
Yeah.
Venkat, I am shocked that you not immediately going to WWE should have put some money in.
No, I don't think that's right. Like, because first of all, he's not synonymous with the
I listen to
company.
you every Tuesday say how these corporations need to go in their pockets and shovel out all this money, and
No,
they
you
should bring it
misinterpreting what
over
I'm
here,
saying.
and they should do this. Now you go.
Kevin
And
Sullivan is
listen,
not the Undertaker. If the Undertaker would have been in some situation like that, this guy literally carried the company on his back. You know, it's not the same relationship and the dynamic. He was in a whole other area, a whole other territories. He wasn't connected to them. It's the guys like Bret Hart and Undertaker and those kind of guys, even Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, like those kind of people when they are on hard times and that were close knit to Vince McMahon at some level, you would think he would do a little bit more. But like Kevin Sullivan is kind of distanced from the WWE. So I don't hold the WWE. Like, I don't think that every wrestler on the continent, every wrestler in the world, like when they go down, WWE needs to answer for that. That's not what I was ever saying. But we know how they treat the ones that they should be taking care of is not right. And that's what I go after.
this
But
is so refreshing. I mean, this is, my goodness, this is refreshing. One of the quotes that I didn't put in for Mark Henry was him saying how Vince McMahon gives the legends like $1,500 or $5,000, just to make an appearance and things like that, which was another reason why he was extolling Vince's virtues. This is the reason why these guys need insurance. But MD, what's your thoughts on that? As far as, and okay, MD, let me ask you this. So with what Venkat's saying, which I agree with, I don't disagree at all. It's just refreshing to hear him actually say this, knowing how he is with WWE. So what do you think about all these wrestlers that probably spent 2 seconds in WWE coming back for trying to get in all these class action concussion lawsuits and stuff like that? You haven't worked more than 2 minutes in the company, but you somehow feel that they should give you some money, versus somebody like Kevin Sullivan, who wasn't necessarily in the company, but he meant so much. Let's put it this way. He meant so much that they gave him a in memoriam on the show. And they don't do that for people that don't work for them. They don't do that.
Well, they didn't used to do it. I think you'll see a lot more of that now. But yeah, hey, again, I'm just as surprised as you, Trail, to hear Venkat speak that. At the end of the day, should there be some type of I wouldn't say a safety net in terms of like healthcare for wrestlers, or even some type of funeral expense net? I mean, it's hard to say because it's just not set up that way. I think at the end of the day, like I said, I don't know if he's had his funeral or not. I don't know what his family situation is. I mean, I'm pretty sure that it came through. Well, it will come through, and probably some big names are coming and help out. In terms of what it's almost, because I remember we had a conversation similar to this before, and it was damn near like Venkat was saying that wrestling just needed to straight up be unionized. So for him,
that's why this is shocking the hell out. This is so shocking to me to hear him say it.
Right. So yeah, for him to say that, but it makes sense. He don't got no ties to WWE. So why do they need to have? And the company that he used to work for is defunct. So I mean, it's gonna take an individual effort for it to happen. Do I think at the very least, I'll say this to Venkat's point about unionization and whatnot. At the very least, I do think it should be some type of I guess you would say plan that wrestlers could get on that's specific for them. Like a lot of 1099 jobs do that. If you ever worked the 1099 job, you know that they have specific health plans that you can pay outright in. That's specifically tailor-made for you. At the very least, I think wrestlers should have something like that. I ain't saying full-blown healthcare coverage. Based on how they get paid now.
Why are you not giving full-blown healthcare coverage? Why is that not a thing?
That's a good question.
If they gonna be taxed for it,
blame Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, because he ratted out Jesse Ventura.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, you have to change the whole. If you give them health coverage, that will mean the whole structure of how wrestling works will have to change because no more independent contracting.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean?
That's
No more signing for contracts. Go ahead.
They aren't independent contractors.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
they tell you where you're gonna go.
Exactly.
Who you're gonna see, who you're gonna be with, who you're gonna face,
and they can't.
They do that
and
because
they
they're
tell
under
you
contract.
can't go where you want to go. You can't do this
because you're under
movie.
contract.
But MD, if you're an independent contractor, you could take outside bookings.
Exactly.
That's not necessarily true. It depends. Again,
It's Vince McMahon that did this.
If you're an independent contractor, that means that you're independently signing something. Now, what you signing is up to that company.
They go MD swindling again.
Yeah,
I
see what you're saying with that.
He said I'm a swindler. Wow, that was a new one.
That's ridiculous, though.
It is ridiculous. I ain't saying it ain't, but that's just the game and how it's played.
That game need to change, man.
You know if these wrestlers now get hurt, they freeze their contract. Like they'll cover all their expenses, but they freeze their contract. So even if they're out for like 2 years, that contract's frozen. So when you come back, you still got that time that you got to fulfill.
That's crazy.
So it's ridiculous. But all right, let's get into this. Let's get into this review. Like I said, man, to y'all AEW fans, so y'all can hear me. I think that this is probably going to be one of the best cards of the year, if not the best wrestling card period of the year. So I preface it with that. But with all that being said, I may have only watched 2 minutes of AEW television all month. So, but I could pretty much look at everything and tell you I'm going to pick a perfect card. So let's get into, I think I got all the matches. I hate when these wrestling companies, you got a damn show within a week. WWE doesn't finalize their damn card until seemingly an hour before the show. So it's hard as hell for me to get the damn match cards up. So in AEW, I see most sites saying it's going to be like a 12 to 14 match card. So I don't know. I got what I saw, and
it's going to be on all day long. I'm telling you that now. It's going to be on from 1, probably all the way up to like 8 or 9. I'm telling you that right now. Just like last year.
That's crazy. I'm not watching all that. That's crazy. I'll have that on in the background while I'm doing something. That's crazy.
They're going to have the buy-in show. They're going to have all type of. It's going to be all day.
I do think it's going to be great though. But so speaking of buy-in, 0 hour, you have Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii versus Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway getting in the ring. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to even crap on him, but Stokely Hathaway, I listen to every wrestling podcaster on earth, and they told me how great of a talker he was and how he's being underutilized in WWE, and he sold this and he sold that. What I have seen of him, he's just as annoying as shit. But I do see my pick for this is Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii. Because the real heat is in a one-on-one with Chris Statlander. And you know what? So no, I'm taking Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander so they can get to the Willow Nightingale and Statlander match.
But they already had it though, right?
I don't know. I haven't watched.
Didn't they have it in the Owen Hart Cup?
Yeah, but that they probably didn't have a proper feud ending match.
So why is this match not on the main card? I mean the singles match.
You asking me?
Like it don't make no sense.
It's Tony Khan, that's why.
You
did the breakup for it to culminate to what?
It should have culminated right here.
There you go.
So why you're adding Ishii and Stokely. I mean, I think it's just so Stokely could get the cheap win, and it prolongs the feud. So is Willow ever going to get another run at Mercedes, or what? Is that done? Like, I don't know.
Remember all the steam Willow Nightingale had pre Double or Nothing?
Mm-hmm.
She was hot.
Pre Mercedes.
Yeah, pre Mercedes Monet. What happened?
Mercedes Monet.
Now she in the buy-in or whatever you call it.
Wow.
Mercedes Monet. That's what happened.
All I know is I don't like these Sunday pay-per-views, man.
I know, right?
WWE done spoiled me, and Saturday is the best damn thing.
Man, this is gonna be a tag. So Bones is saying Willow beat Statlander already, but that was in the tournament though, wasn't it, Bones? That wasn't a like a proper blow off. So who you guys got in this? This is 0 hour matchup.
I have no dog in the fight in this. I'll just take Willow's team. Yeah, I'll just go with Willow.
All right, so moving right along. So they do have a casino gauntlet match.
What kind of bull crap is this?
For a guaranteed world title shot. So I don't know who all's in here. The names I saw was Orange Cassidy and like Roderick Strong and somebody else. So the winners get a world title match. Again, they don't show anything on their website. When you go to AEW.com and you put in this pay-per-view, they take you right to Live Nation to buy tickets. They don't show you anything else. They just try to get you to go to Live Nation to buy the tickets. That's it. So
they think their brand is that strong that they can't even present like a reason for you to buy a ticket. It just says AEW. That's good enough. Yeah, WWE could get away with that because they got over 60 years. But I mean, my God.
Yeah, so I don't know. So I mean, let's move on. So you're having the AEW World Trios Championship. So you have Christian Cage and the Patriarchy versus the Bang Bang Gang and versus the House of Black, and then versus a mystery team. So Bones, let me know who you think the mystery team is going to be. Who's the champions? The Patriarchy. I think the Patriarchy is going to retain the title.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Why? Okay, we had the slight hint months ago with Luchasaurus. What's going on? And like I said, I like Christian Cage. I think Christian Cage is a breath of fresh air in AEW. When is that gonna happen? Wouldn't this be the perfect time to
Luchasaurus
settle that?
Been turned on him. He should have been turned on.
Yeah, what's going on? It should be Luchasaurus versus Christian Cage at All In.
I got nothing, MD. Like, what you want?
Tony Khan is why.
I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing for you. Who you guys got in this one?
I mean, I'm just saying because this the biggest show, correct?
Yeah.
This is where you want to culminate some of your biggest storyline. This is where you want to add a big payoff. Like I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I'll take the Patriarchy, by the way.
Yeah, I got the Patriarchy. Who you got, Venkat?
I got no dog in this fight. Just gonna go with what you guys say on that one.
Yeah, Patriarchy. All right. So I think this match is gonna hump. This is for the TNT Championship in a coffin match. You have the scapegoat Jack Perry taking on Darby Allin. I just think this is going to be your reckless, balls to the wall. Let's see who could kill themselves first match. And this is going to just be great because you remember the coffin match at last year, All In, Darby and Sting versus Swerve. Jungle Boy going to win guaranteed. Yeah.
Hold on, wait a minute, Trev. What's the start of the card?
What do you mean the start?
I mean, so which match was the buy-in match? Just the tag team match?
Yeah, the mixed tag.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all they have showing for the 0
Yeah,
hour.
I don't think. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's right. They gonna have more than one match on the buy-in show.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they don't have it advertised.
Oh, they don't have it in order.
No, because what
Okay.
I went to like 4 different. So I went to Bleacher Report because Bleacher Report is where they stream their stuff on Bleacher Report. So you would think if anybody had it, it would be there. They don't have a set match order. Everybody's just doing like predictions as to what the card order is going to be. We probably know the full card after tonight, but unfortunately, we need it for now. So Bone saying 0 hour going to be at least 2 matches. So they may have like they may have a casino battle royal or something. They may have a battle royal.
Okay, I got you.
And here I go with this. If they have the battle royal, that's where you're going to see Ricochet or Bobby Lashley or Shane McMahon. Probably, I don't know, but I think you're going to get
Ricochet 90 days up.
I hope we see that. I hope to see that.
It might be, or very clear. You know what? It might not be yet. Yeah, it might not be yet. But if it is, this is where you're going to see him. I think this is where he'll show up would be if they had like a battle royal. He'd be like the last surprise entrance. So, but I got Jack Perry in this match. Bone saying Darby gonna set him on. No, Darby set him on fire. I heard that was in that stadium. What they didn't call it Stadium Stampede. What the hell was that one match where they were playing the music during the match?
I know what you mean, but I can't remember what they called it.
I forget what
they have so many quirky ass names.
Anarchy in the Arena.
Yeah, Anarchy in the Arena. That's what that was. So yeah, Bone saying 0 hour gonna have at least 2 matches. So yeah, but I got Jungle Boy retaining his title in this.
Yeah, I got Jungle Boy too.
Darby Allin all day.
It seemed like Darby Allin is relegated to like the TNT title. I don't know, like he only had the one world title match. What was that? The 4 Pillars match? Like
4 Pillars
he's Mr. TNT title. That's who he is. But it's no reason to take it off Jack Perry right now.
So in the match that's probably going to steal the show, probably outside of the main event, but this might just be the show stealer because I think this is just going to be fantastic. FTR versus the champion Young Bucks versus the Acclaim in a 3-way match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, and I think it is time. So you know what I think they're going to do here? I'd love to see the Revival win this, but I think they're going to put it on the Acclaim. I really think, unfortunately, they're going to put it on the Acclaim.
And by the way, Acclaim is on the pay-per-view. Hallelujah. They had been in that 0 hour for ages.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, the Acclaim all day.
This match is going to hump. Darby will get a world title shot in a few weeks. The winner of the Brian Strickland. How? If the winner, the next person in line is the one that wins that gauntlet match. So how are they going to shoehorn Darby in there unless they just do a TV match? But yeah, I got the Acclaim and Venkat got the Acclaim. Who you got, MD?
I'm gonna go Young Bucks retaining, man. I think the power trip that they own as far as the angle gonna keep the titles on them. I'm gonna go Young Bucks.
Yeah, Bones is saying Young Bucks will retain. So we doing this thing on the MMA brothers where I'm just gonna go in blind and pick all their matches for the card. Like, so them that's knowledgeable and know what they're talking about versus me, I'm just gonna go in and pick all the matches and we're gonna see who comes up with the better record. So that's something to look forward to. So the next match for the AEW women's title, you got Mariah May. Now I remember a couple pay-per-views ago I said that Mariah would be the one to turn on Tony and take the title off of her. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Tony Storm loses the title here. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea, but I think Tony loses the title here.
I think, and I don't want to say like they done squeezed all the juice out of Tony Storm because that wouldn't be true. But I do think that she needs to be in a position now where she can do more in terms of like maybe chasing, creating new angles, and she don't need the title for that. You know what I mean? So I do believe Mariah May will win the world title. I don't think she's gonna have it long, but I think she's just riding the wave.
We know.
Well, I ain't
we
gonna
know
say
who's
her,
getting it. We know
but
who's
yeah,
getting it soon.
and that's why I was going. She's gonna be a transitional champion.
So wait a minute.
It's a way to take the title off Tony Storm and put it on either Mercedes or put it on Britt. Either one.
Oh, Britt not getting that damn belt. So Tony could be the babyface, chasing that flop that is Mercedes Moné. So hold on. Let me. Tony Storm is AEW's best character by far. It's not even close. Do you think that character is going to work with her not being champion though? Because that's part of the appeal. That's part of the appeal. Her being the snotty champion.
Well, remember, part of the appeal was when she created it, and she wasn't champion at that time. So I think it'll work. I think it'll definitely work. And like I said, I think she can create new stuff without having to rely on being in a linear angle, so to speak. So yeah, I think it can work.
Venkat, who you got in this?
Tony Storm all day. She gonna use that ass, and it's over. Ain't no way in hell any of those women would hold that ass.
So I want to say this. What the hell was I gonna say? Damn, I just forgot what oh no, this is what I'm gonna say. Tony Storm is the best, most utilized wrestler to come from WWE to AEW.
Oh,
when you look at everybody that came over, with the exception of probably Moxley. Moxley probably be the only one where you can make an argument that his initial run was better. But everybody that came over to AEW from WWE, she has been the absolute standout.
I agree with that, but it ain't because of AEW though. I'll tell you that.
Well,
she organically got over. Organically.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, just in general though. Who's that? How do you say that name?
Pedram.
Pedram. Yeah, it's live. We're live, pal.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, but I think I think she's been she has absolutely been the best character. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And these matches are in no particular order. I just kind of was trying to guess the order of them. So for the AEW American Championships, I didn't even realize MJF renamed his title and he redid it with the American strap. That's cool. You have MJF versus
essentially the U.S. Championship is pretty much what that is.
Well, but they call it the AEW American. What was it? Like the Mid-American title or the Mid-Atlantic? What the hell was it called?
Where did this belt come from? I don't remember this belt being in.
Yeah, this is the belt that Orange Cassidy had for all that.
Oh, time. The international title.
No, that was the international title. Yeah, that's the American title. Like I said, man, hey, your guess is good as mine, man.
Whoa. So
this is a whole new different title. This is a different title.
So who's the international champion?
Is it?
I
think it's Okada. Didn't Okada have it?
Yes. No, Okada has the belt that what's your guy? Eddie Kingston had.
Oh, what belt did Eddie? Hey man, hey.
There's some convoluted belts in AEW.
That lets you know where AEW is at right now.
Bones clear this up for us. Bones, clear this up for
us. Eddie Kingston had the Continental Crown.
He had the so Okada is the Continental champion. Okay,
he's the Continental champion.
Okay, so Bones is saying MJF
Roddy Strong had the international championship.
So that's this because Will Ospreay beat Roddy Strong at the last pay-per-view, and so now MJF, he's saying MJF renamed the title. It's the same belt. So, okay, so
how do you rename a title?
Hey, it's wrestling, pal. What
They
you?
working with their own rules.
Hey, it's so it is the international
So
title.
don't even build any prestige for it. Just change it whenever you want to.
Wow.
And then y'all get mad at me because I don't watch this. Like, what? So okay, damn, I got to take a quick pause here. Venkat, you weren't on the show last time because you were sick. But when me and MD were going over the SummerSlam card, I made a statement, and I want to see what you think of it. You ain't got to go in no whole diatribe about it, but I want to hear what you got to say about it. I say that now that Gunther is the world champion, the WWF world title is the greatest belt in all of wrestling, the most prestigious, because Gunther is a champion. Over the AEW title, over the WWE title, over the TNA title, over the any title in wrestling, the world title is the most prestigious belt in wrestling right now. Do you agree or not?
I don't agree.
Okay.
And I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and it makes logical sense because of the person that has it, but he still got to walk that aisle. I don't agree. That title don't have enough behind it. And I mean, you could even make the argument. I sent this video from this guy called A Hater, and he talked about the WWE title with Cody Rhodes has been diminished.
Oh,
it's underneath the world title, Gunther's world title, and Gunther's world title is underneath CM Punk's bracelet, and CM Punk's bracelet is underneath the chili peppers for Roman Reigns. That seems to be the most coveted prize in all of WWE.
So I was going to say that.
I'm listening to him, I think it is true. I mean, it ends the show. I mean, if you got that on the line, that's probably going to end any pay-per-view that we have. So their world titles are devalued at the moment. I don't know. I
don't know about him being devalued, but Roman Reigns is the biggest star in all of wrestling. So
that bracelet that CM Punk have means more to people than the world titles right now. Those two trinkets have more of a following and stakes behind them than the WWE title that Cody Rhodes have and Gunther's newly crowned world title. Those two trinkets.
So I was gonna say that the most hottest stories in wrestling are over a 50 Cent bracelet and a Ula Fala. That's crazy.
And not to mention Dominic Mysterio, so you can just throw him in. Throw him in there.
The heat magnet.
I still won't give him credit, but but he's a part of. I mean, what the Judgment Day in general has been the most watched thing in the WWE, probably the last year and a half, I would say.
It should be. They're great.
Yeah. And they was at one point they were looking like they would be a jobber stable, but they are it in WWE. They are the pinnacle.
So,
but yeah, I don't agree. I don't think Gunther has to earn that. Yeah, he did great with the Intercontinental title, but he hadn't done anything.
So when he beats Randy Orton,
that don't mean nothing. That's Randy Orton.
Nah, hell no. You ain't gonna disparage Randy Orton.
Randy Orton is one of my top 3 favorite wrestlers of the modern era. Randy Orton is still the older, beaten down Randy. Even though he looks great, that doesn't really prove anything.
I heard on Busted Open Radio I was listening to yesterday, Dave LaGreca, and I agree with this, man. He said with the style that Randy Orton works, he could go at least another 10 years. And he's what, like 43, 44, somewhere in that area.
Did you see the interview with him and Cody?
Dave LaGreca and Cody?
No, Cody Rhodes and Randy.
No.
Randy said that he's gonna try to stay in wrestling until at least he's 50. I think he's 44 or something like that.
He just re-signed another contract.
Yeah. So he's trying to go to at least 50. So Bones, you gonna get up? Is your phone clear? I want you to come up here and your phone ain't clear.
But put the link in the chat, Van Cat. But oh damn, what the hell was I gonna say? Damn, he threw me off, man. I get sidetracked. Oh no, so the thing I did see though was an interview with Cody Rhodes and Bianca Belair. My wife sent it to me. Where Bianca was singing the Project Pat, the Chicken Head song.
Yeah.
Oh man, I died laughing when I saw that. So who you got in this one, Venkat?
I'm going with MJF. I want MJF to win this match. I think Ospreay has won enough. He needs to take a loss. MJF's the guy to do it.
Yeah, I think MJF is going to win just because Ospreay is going to the world title next. Who you got, MD?
Yeah, I'm gonna go MJF. Now, Bone maybe can help everybody out. Is MJF a heel?
Yeah, hell yeah, he's a heel.
Yeah.
Because I remember when he did the stuff to
Daniel
Garcia.
Yeah.
So okay, all right. So I go MJF through some type of nefarious means. I think it's gonna be a great match. I think this is the match, even though because they wrestled before, if I'm not mistaken.
They wrestled for an hour on Dynamite.
Yeah, on Dynamite, right, yeah. So I think this match is not going to be as big as that match. So I think people are probably putting too many expectations on it. MJF will win by some nefarious means.
I think they go in an hour in this match.
We'll see.
I think they're going because all AEW title matches have like an hour time limit. I think they're going the time limit on this one.
A Sting and Ric Flair 1988 clash.
Yeah, I think this is going to be. I think it's going to be crazy because you know what you get with a Will Ospreay match because Will Ospreay gonna spam every finisher in from here to eternity. So you know what you're gonna get. All right, Bones, what you got to say?
I was gonna say that when y'all was getting confused about the title, it is the international title, but MJF he renamed it once he beat Will Ospreay in that awesome 59-minute and 55-second match on Dynamite, which was amazing. If you didn't see it, you should check it out. And then obviously Okada got the other belt, but I'm going with Ospreay to win this match though.
So who gives MJF, what governing body gives MJF the authority to change the title, the lineage of the title?
Because she a superstar.
Because it's one thing to just change the strap. Like Tiffany Stratton changed her briefcase to the, whatever, but it's still the Money in the Bank briefcase. So what governing body gives him the authority to do this?
If you remember when he had the world title, he changed that to the Triple B belt. And, he didn't rename the belt itself, but he gave it like a little nickname. So with this one, he did the same thing. So basically any title MJF get, he going to change it and make it his own.
See,
what he been doing is he been going to England and he even changed his theme to like an American theme. So he been going to England, beating up Will Ospreay's cronies and people he close to and stuff like that, wrestling matches, defending his belt.
So he's just running an anti world.
Yeah, basically.
He's just running the all American boy.
So it's going to generate a lot of heat over there in the UK when you do it like that.
You answered that like a true fan though. You brought up the Triple B belt, which I remember the Triple Burberry, but it was still called the AEW World Title. Yeah. This is not called the AEW International Title, so now that lineage is lost.
No, I mean, if Ospreay win it, he might change it back to
he's
that's crazy.
He ain't gonna answer it the way he ain't going. He's not falling in my trap. He's not doing
it. Your question: who gives him the right to rename it? To rename the whole title? The Young Bucks gave him that right.
That's all you had to say. That what? Young Bucks is in control. That's all you had to say. Yeah. Make it make sense. That's all I care about. Just make it make sense. Why is Randy Orton on Raw? Triple H told me I could come over here. That's it. That's all I want to hear. Yeah, make it make sense. As long
just to go back to Cody Rhodes for a second, it's unfortunate what's happening to Cody Rhodes. I feel so bad for Cody. He doesn't deserve this, but
he's so disingenuous.
It's very genuous. because he shouldn't have been here. Roman Reigns should still be making records right now with that title. And in January of 2025, the first Raw, they should have met in Madison Square Garden, and then they should have had the title change there. Roman Reigns is still the champion in a lot of these people's minds. And the way that he comes out, and by the way, his return is not that great either, to be honest. It was not as impactful as I thought it was going to be. I'm telling you guys are laughing, but it's not as strong as I thought. I was kind of disappointed there. Roman Reigns' return is not that. Is not all that right now. But so everybody's is taking it. I think that Cody could have done better just losing. He should have taken another loss and then have that adversity, and it would have been a huge big deal in January 2025, Netflix Raw. But they screwed themselves over, and we ain't getting that moment.
Van Cat, they're gonna say that for John Cena, that Raw moment.
John Cena better not put that title on John Cena just so he could get 16.
No, they're not gonna put the title.
Oh, John Cena taking that belt from Gunther.
No, man. No way.
Wow.
No way. I would hate to see that happen.
He's gonna fight Gunther for the belt, but Gunther gonna keep the belt.
I'm telling you, John Cena getting that belt from Gunther.
Oh my God. That's the last thing we need right now. And how does that give him back to the business? He wants to do a personal accolade by winning 6. Well, he's not 16 times right now, is he? He is 16 times.
Yeah, no, he is 16.
See, that's ridiculous. So now they want to get him 17, even though they're saying Flair actually has 21, but they don't recognize it. Whatever. But yeah, that's crazy. If you're gonna make him go on a farewell tour and then give him the title during that tour, that's kind of crazy.
No, Orton is 15, right?
Yeah, Orton is 15. Cena's 16.
No, Orton is 14.
No, yeah, Orton's 14. 14. Yeah, Orton and Triple H are both 14.
Yeah, in the interview he said he was a 14-time champion.
All right, so let's get to the match. So listen to my take here. So the biggest bust in AEW right now, Mercedes Moné taking on Britt Baker for the TBS championship. Man, I this is not going to be good.
She got fined and suspended or something, right?
Yeah, because she got into it with MJF. But
that?
And where is Adam Cole? Like, where the hell is Adam Cole?
Yeah, they just forgot about that feud. I thought that was a big deal, but it's obviously not.
It's supposed to be MJF versus Adam Cole Part 2 at All In. Like I don't understand what's going on.
If you remember when MJF came back earlier, Adam Cole was in the ring. MJF gave him the brain buster, and he specifically said, "I'm done with this shit. I'm not doing this no more." So basically, they moved on from that storyline completely.
Wow.
But that don't make any sense.
That's the way you end it? My God.
That's crazy.
I think because Adam Cole got injured and the whole Undisputed Kingdom didn't turn out as well as they thought it was, they just kind of scrapped the storyline, I believe.
I don't think Adam Cole got a foot anymore. I don't know what's going on with him. his foot gone. He done developed dementia from all the. I don't know what's going on.
He looks like shit because he probably lost 100 pounds and he already wasn't that big.
Wow,
man, add that one to the bus list. Come on, let's ride the train up. Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Miro. Come on, let's just add them up. Like
that's
all these
talent, man.
These busts.
Keith Lee eating off Michin money. He good.
Yeah. Hey, Keith Lee.
Yeah, she just adding to the plastic surgery. That's all.
Yeah.
She was like a totally different person. I'm like, what the hell?
There was a time I'm like, oh my goodness, that Blasian look is awesome. But when I saw her, like you see her now, you're like, ugh, it's just too much. So we got Britt Baker, which Britt Baker never been good in the ring to me, but I like Britt Baker as a character. The whole DMD thing, I like her with Tony Schiavone, their interaction with one another. But so clearly, you have one of AEW's homegrown talents in Britt Baker versus one of WWE's homegrown talents in Mercedes Moné. So who do you think Tony Khan's going to put over in this match? Mercedes Moné is winning this, is without a shadow of a doubt. Bet the bank on this one.
I'm going for Britt Baker.
Never happened.
No, Mercedes gonna win it 100%.
Nah, I just want Britt Baker to win.
She even got muscle behind her and Camille, and possibly you might get a Jamie Hayter return too.
So so Venkat, you got Britt Baker. I'm Mercedes all the way. Bones Mercedes. MD, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going Mercedes too, but I do agree with Bones. I think we're gonna see Jamie Hayter, and the pop and the crowd gonna pop huge.
Okay, y'all say Jamie Hayter. So here's my thing. Tony Khan is going to get on the phone.
Oh boy.
And say, hey, Rebecca Quinn, I will give you $10 million to have one match on my TV.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I am going with listen to what I'm telling you. So we're gonna do the far shot of the night. This is my far shot of the night. After Mercedes is crying, because she probably gonna be crying in the ring like she always does, standing over Britt Baker after they done almost killed each other in the ring with botches, you're gonna hear some generic ass music and you're gonna see the redhead walk down the aisle. That's my far shot. Becky Lynch hinted at retirement, but Tony Khan is such a money mark that I believe he will call her and say, hey, I will give you $10 million just for like a month of service. She ain't under contract. All she doing is her book tour. So that's my far shot of the night. Y'all saying Jamie Hayter, which is probably more likely, but I'm saying Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Is doing a one-off.
Trevor,
so if their contract expire, that means they don't do the 90-day non-compete, right?
No, she's free and clear.
So we might see Ricochet then.
Yeah, Ricochet can come back, and I think
I think Ricochet was just waiting for this moment. That's what I'm telling you.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
in that gauntlet match, Ricochet or Lashley is going to be one of those guys.
Hey, as an AEW elitist, man, I'm not a fan of Mercedes Moné. She's super cringe. I didn't want him to bring her in there in the first place because she's just taking shine away from the AEW originals. So I'm not too high on this match. I'm not too high on this match. I'm not a fan of Mercedes at all.
So you gonna go on record today saying that this was a bust of a signing? You could do it. It's fine.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially when you see all the money that he's paying her.
Exactly. She's not worth
because
all that.
he thought that she was going to be able to bring in that WWE crowd. I
don't know why.
And I've always said it. Of all the horsewomen, she was like on the bottom of the list. If you brought in Charlotte, then that's different. But of all the horsewomen, she was on the bottom of the list. I mean, it is what it is. The only reason people look like her is because she looks like Tina Trump. And if you don't know who that is, just do a quick Google search. But make sure nobody's around you.
Hey, it's so bad
no body version of Tina Trump.
Just make sure no minor is around you when you do that search.
It's so bad because they got the piped in CEO chants in her theme music, which is terrible.
Hell, the music itself is terrible.
CEO.
Yeah, that's terrible.
CEO.
People don't understand. Like, y'all crap on WWE all you want, but they build character, like they build superstars. Like when you hear that dun, 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 you know that's Sasha Banks coming out. When you hear this stupid CEO, it sounds terrible. And then she comes out and nothing changed. What changed between Mercedes Moné and Sasha Banks? Nothing. She wrestles the same. She does all the same mannerisms. She's doing every single thing she was doing in WWE, except now she's getting $10 million.
Well, she can't use the moniker boss, so she's
Yeah.
CEO. That's as far as the creativity goes. Ooh, what's another term for a boss? Wow.
Might as well give her as a whip. I think she's been a colossal flop. But on the flip side, you got a signing like Will Ospreay. Major impact, but people don't really know him outside of the mainstream, but he has hit on every single thing. I've never watched a match of his and I'm like, boy, you know what? That wasn't a $1 million match. Like the guy is friggin' awesome. But when you see her, there's a reason why they call her Botcha Banks. It's a reason they call her Botcha Banks.
Right. And I don't see the appeal that she ain't putting asses in seats. So, you know, like what are we doing?
Not at all. Hell, I want Britt Baker to win this because I'm gonna change my pick because
I'm telling you, Britt Baker, man.
Because if we think that the AEW World title is eventually going to her, because right now she already got 2 belts, right?
I think
you know what they might try to make her.
No.
And she had like she got like the Mexican title or something like that.
Oh my God!
Come on, Bones, you the resident AEW guy now. Come on now.
Yeah, she got a CMLL title.
So do you think they'd let her run with 3 titles?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, they already had Dad Bod with a bunch of titles, so you know it's not new territory.
He looks bad now. They did an interview with him.
Now he looks bad. Come on, Trevor. Trevor.
They did an interview with him the other day. I guess now because he can't work out or anything, the guy, he looks terrible, man.
He makes Gunther in his earlier days look like Mr. Olympia.
Hey, y'all ain't gonna be talking about the King of the Bums like that, man. That's my champion, Eddie Kingston.
I came around to Eddie Kingston in that Continental Classic. Like that, they made a fan out of me with that. Like that was a storyline that worked. They made a fan out of me with that. I hate his chops though. Like that just completely take me completely out of it. But
it's embarrassing.
What is up with Kenny Omega? Where has he been?
He had diverticulitis and some issues.
Oh. Man, he's
how long that take to heal?
Yeah, but he's missed a lot of time, man.
Yeah, whenever he comes back, he's gonna be feuding with the Young Bucks, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Any timetable on his return?
No, they being real quiet about it, so I'm not sure.
So I mean, things might not be good because if they're not like dropping hints and stuff, that normally be a bad sign. So I don't know what else other match there is, but let's get to the main event, which I expect this match to just deliver on every level. I don't like how they're billing this though. They're billing this as career versus title. So we know
Trevor,
that.
Hold on, you got Okada is going against Claudio Castagnoli for the belt.
I didn't see it.
That's gonna be a great match. Good God, that's gonna be a great.
They don't put the cards up. I mean, what could I do?
Yeah,
Claudio versus Okada. My God.
So Okada stinks. So hopefully, you know, if they got the wrong Chinaman in there, they need to put what's my boy from
you don't like Okada?
Group?
You don't like
my boy from Don Callis' group?
Tenosuke Tetsuko.
Yeah, you talking about the question.
That's the Chinaman that need to be in there.
Chinaman, you racist as hell.
So you're saying Swerve versus Bryan Danielson, you're saying that is a career versus title match?
Yeah, that's how they're billing it.
Yeah.
So that means that's the last match we're gonna see Bryan Danielson.
That's what they want you. That's what they want you to believe, but I don't think so. I think this may end in like a draw or something, so where he doesn't lose, but Swerve doesn't lose the title. I don't think you're getting a finish here.
That's a cop out.
So you mean to tell me the main event of a biggest pay-per-view
We're gonna do a Dusty finish.
It's gonna end in a time limit draw.
Well,
Dusty.
Okay, it's either that or you lose Danielson. So which one you think they're gonna do?
Just lose Danielson.
Nah.
Yeah, because
I got a hard time believing that.
If you're gonna go out, you want to go out on the biggest show. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
That means Danielson will be a perennial loser when it comes to AEW title matches.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is.
But I got a feeling that Danielson gonna win though.
If Swerve loses this match, his title run is just as weak as Cody, if not weaker.
You can't say that because his match against Ospreay, he beat Ospreay, and I feel like that's definitely solidified him because Ospreay is the best wrestler right now.
That's one match though. That's one match.
Could this be where Nana turns on him? Where's Hangman? Where's Samoa Joe? Where's and
Samoa Joe shooting season 2?
I don't know, but I feel like Samoa Joe finna make an appearance because you got Hook versus Chris Jericho for the LTW championship.
Oh, that's the one I'm missing. There was one match. There was a match that I couldn't find the card for, but I knew that was on there. My bad. You got Hook versus Chris Jericho. You got Hook.
That's horrible. We don't want to see that crap.
You got Hook versus Mr. Please Retire chant Chris Jericho for the FTW championship. Hook
is not a real belt.
Hook is winning that back. Neither is the AEW American title, but hey, they got it.
That's more legitimate than that damn FTW. The FTW is lower than the $1 million title.
Well, they even say it's not a recognizable title in AEW. So,
it's not.
They say it's not like a legit title. That's what they say.
Hey,
they put it on the posters.
They had to make that announcement.
Yeah, they got a whole graphic when they do FTW title matches with the belt doing all type.
Exactly. This company is just wild.
Yeah, Tony be giving out belts like it's crazy.
That's crazy. So Ring of Honor is still a thing?
Yeah. You got Athena over there dominating. Jay Briscoe was the champion. I think they had a card last week, but I'm not sure.
So Athena is still not on the main roster.
No, I don't understand that. That's a travesty.
You know why? Because she's a real sister.
Yeah.
You notice he ain't got no real black women over there. He got like Mercedes.
Unless they jobbing.
Yeah, unless they eating pins, but he got Mercedes, he got Willow. He got the lighter skinned sisters over there. He don't have no sister over there.
Speaking of jobbers, there was one episode of Wrestling Reality. You guys talking about bringing back jobbers?
I think they're good for like
no.
So when okay,
no.
well let's
you know what you're describing? You're describing elevation and stuff like that. Where that's all they would do, just have like jobbers sometimes on there. Sometimes I have like known guys face each other, but the matches were just such a foregone conclusion. There was no jeopardy. There was no nothing. It was just guys doing their moves, and then you go to the next segment. That's
okay. Hold on, Bankat.
How do you showcase new talent? How do you do that?
Okay, because I was about to say, let me ask you a question. If you see that you're getting a matchup with Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, versus Kofi Kingston, who the hell you think going to win that match?
Okay, it depends though. It depends. It depends on what they were doing with Kofi leading up to the match.
Wouldn't it be
Cody on a hot streak? Is Kofi on a hot streak?
Yeah, right. Wouldn't it be better to just throw a ham and egger in there and just be done with it?
No.
That way you don't always see your guys eating pins. So we talk about how Miz is a bona fide Hall of Famer. You know how many losses Miz has? You know how many losses a guy like Dolph Ziggler has?
Even the Miz last match against Bobby Lashley when he had the belt, it was a jobber match basically. Lashley ran through him.
Bro, you don't always need to put like a established guy against an established guy.
I think they have an issue with the amount of matches that they're doing.
Yeah, well, that's a problem too. They're
And you're
doing
trying to fill airtime. And if you come back to the point where you're going backwards doing jobber matches, you're doing something wrong. So they need to reevaluate these matches, because matches are like 8 minutes or less and crap like that. They need to evaluate the length, the time, and what they're doing in matches, rather than worrying about who is taking a pick. These, Jim Ross, I was watching him the other day. He was talking about in WCW in the 90s, they had a thing where they had to give a bonus to the wrestlers that lost matches, the jobbers, the guys that had to lose. Like Greg Valentine didn't want to get pinned by Sting, so they had to pay him more money just so he could get pinned. Like, what the hell is that? Like, these guys have feelings, and it's professional wrestling. These are the most feminine men I've ever seen. I never knew that was a thing. Like, you lose a match, you lose a match. Who cares? It's scripted.
How do you showcase new talent though, man? How do you do that?
Not just showcase new talent. You act like new talent is just singular. There are other guys coming up. They have to fight amongst their rank, and you go up from there. That's called progression. You don't put a new guy with the world champion, even though they did do that when they had that guy come out from NXT and he's wrestling Cody. What that guy name is?
Carmelo Hayes.
Right. Like, what the hell was that? And that diminished Cody, and that's part of the problem right there.
So you just proved my point then.
Cody shouldn't have been in a match, period. He shouldn't have been wrestling. Cody is the world champion. He should only be in big match situations. And if you play him for cheap on TV, you're degrading your champion. So we don't need Roman Reigns.
About Roman never.
No, we don't need Roman Reigns level of 4 title or 3 title defenses in a year. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying keep his matches on PLEs. He don't need to be on Raw every week fighting somebody in a tag match or a singles match. It's not necessary.
Yeah, I ain't getting in no Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns conversation.
They frigged up, and they know they frigged up.
No conversation.
I'm telling you, they frigged up. We could have had Roman Reigns pass Hogan, dumbass. Hogan would have been passed by Roman. Roman's stature would continue to go up high, and then the moment Cody beats his ass, Cody didn't even have to beat him. They should have The Rock come back, beat Roman, and then Cody should beat The Rock. I mean, it would have been awesome. The whole thing would have been awesome, but they had to have their Cody winning, and now look where we're at right now. Thanks, Trevor.
Doing record-breaking business.
Well, they're not doing record-breaking business.
They're doing record-breaking.
Those empty seats we saw on the last pay-per-view is not. It's not record-breaking.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hey, did you hear that? Did you see the guy that came on the show that was actually in the stadium?
Yeah.
So you don't buy what he says, huh?
I know what I saw.
No, okay.
I saw empty seats.
All right. All right. So I mean, I don't know, man. I think they're going. I don't see Danielson losing, even though he said that this was going to be his last year. I just think on the merit of who he is, they're going to give him a title run. So I got Danielson winning this match because Prince Nana turns on Swerve. We finally going to get the turn from Nana on Swerve.
It'll be interesting to see if that happens. It sounds logical.
Because Danielson, once you throw somebody's career in it, it's like, oh man, come on, man. I wish they wouldn't even have said that.
See.
You see that comment right there, Trevor? Any rebuttal on that one?
Watch AEW is better than the. Hey, to each his own. I said, listen, I don't understand how many times I had to say this. When it comes to in-ring work, AEW is better. I don't know how many. I don't know how many times I got to say that.
It's simple. AEW has better wrestling. WWE has more storyline.
But in no other metric that matters, or can they even come close? Like, that's all I'm saying. Do you see any AEW titles on this wall? Even though I'm going to get one, but
the AEW title look great.
Yeah, it does. But that's what I'm saying. I said it at the beginning of the show. I think this is going to be the greatest wrestling show of the year. How many more times I got to say it? In ring is going to be the greatest, but what they do afterwards ain't going to be worth dick. So there you go. My pick is Bryan Danielson because Nana turns on Swerve. Who y'all got?
I got Bryan Danielson.
I got Swerve.
I want to go Swerve, man. I something in my heart just tell me they ain't gonna do Swerve like that on the biggest stage.
Right.
He been struggling just to keep afloat as being relevant as a champion.
Yeah.
Something telling me they can't do him like that. Not on the biggest stage. Not on the biggest stage.
It's not necessary for Bryan Danielson to win a championship at this stage in his career. You know, like Booker T had said, you know, with the whole Bash of the Beach 2000, he watched like the interviews with Eric Bischoff and Hogan and what they were saying, and it added more context to the moment. He got kind of pissed. And he said, what would have happened that night had Hogan won the title? It would have just been another title that Hogan won. Would it have made WCW bigger? Would it have made Hogan bigger? No. But with him, that was his first title. That would meant everything to him. And it would, if what Hogan was trying to do that night would have came to fruition, Booker T might have never been a five-time champion. So, you know, it's at this point in his career, why does he need that? You had your glory. Swerve's time now, so he needs to lose.
Hey, let me ask everybody a question. Out of all the matches on the card, which one feels main event worthy?
Ooh, good question. MJF.
MJF. Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the same thing. This match right here, I'm sorry to say it don't even feel like a main event.
You see, now that messes up Swerve. Swerve is having a Cody Rhodes year. It's not going well for Swerve. And I feel sorry for Swerve and Cody because I like them both. I like them both. So we're going to have to thank Trevor on that one, too. We're going to blame Trevor for Swerve's
I
problems.
don't think you like Cody, but I
love Cody, man.
Swerve. Hey, here's a question. How come they don't heat Keith Lee up to wrestle Swerve?
Oh, that would be an amazing match right there.
You already got the built-in storyline.
Oh, that would be great.
I was hoping they would have did that. I don't know where Keith Lee is though. But now, whatever, regardless of what happens,
home in the lazy boy. That's where he at.
Regardless of this match, Hangman Page is next for Swerve Strickland at All In 2 weeks.
And we don't want to see that again. Oh
no, nobody wants to see that.
All Out is in 2 weeks after this.
Yeah,
you know that's how they do it. They do All Out like immediately after.
Oh.
Well, we don't need to see Swerve contracting any more AIDS or syphilis. We really don't need that.
Well, that's why originally I thought Swerve would win because I feel like it'd be better if we got the title on the line. That'll make it different, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's I don't know, man. I just think they're gonna give it to Danielson just because it's gonna be like one of them. Hey, you left WWE, came over here and tried to use your star power to elevate us. Here, run with the title for a while, and then you could drop it in a month or so to Bobby Lashley or something like I
hate that.
That's just kind of how. Don't act like Bobby Lashley not getting the AEW title.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just like, why even go that route? Just let Bobby Lashley go head up with Swerve. That would be a match worth watching, and then and whatever happens. I don't care. But at least you get that match.
Bobby Lashley don't even fit in AEW. I can't even picture Bobby Lashley in AEW.
Wait a minute, hold on, MD. Bobby Lashley was in Impact. He was in TNA. He was in TNA. that's not a stretch. I could definitely see him mingling with AEW guys. He looked like one of them. He's just a little bigger. That's all.
A little bigger. Okay, this is when Bobby Lashley stands in front of any AEW talent. This is where y'all gonna be like, damn, boy, Trevor was right. These guys are little.
Hey, we had Merle all this time, and
you're gonna be like, my God, these guys are small. Can you imagine the Young Bucks? Can you imagine the Young Bucks standing next to him?
Oh, that'd be embarrassing.
Yeah. Bobby Lashley go to AEW, he'll be in the back eating fruit cocktails or whatever with Brian Cage. Hey, all the big guy, this is where we hang out at.
Where is Powerhouse Hobbs? Where's
Powerhouse Hobbs too.
Powerhouse.
Lance Archer.
Yeah, he injured, Trevor. But keep in mind, Bobby Lashley not coming alone. They come with MVP in the form of the Hurt Business.
Okay, because MVP. Okay.
So they can't use the name, obviously.
Yeah, they can't use the name. So they're gonna have to come. They're gonna have to come unless they could use the name from TNA, where they were like the Beatdown Club or something like that.
Yeah, Beatdown Club. Yeah,
that's good right there. That's a good name.
Where MVP did one of the best promos ever when he said acting like a nigga on live TV. You want us to be a nigga?
I like MVP. I mean, he just got older, but I liked him as a manager. I don't know why, I want Bobby Lashley to go be successful if he's he's still got some more years left in him. Let's see what you got. But I'm just saying, man, all the time the whole grass is greener on the other side. And then when I hear I see guys like Miro and guys like that, I'm just like, bro, AEW could have made so much money with a guy like Miro as their unstoppable monster champion.
Oh, for sure.
Like that guy is literally doing nothing. Like where is he, man?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is him and Lana even still together? Like what? There was picture of Lana and Damian Priest on the beach.
Oh my God!
Hold on, wait a minute. They got a divorce.
Yeah, they got a divorce. AEW brought her in, and then they got a divorce a few months afterwards.
Wow!
Look at that. Yep. So he done lost his woman. He ain't got no TV time. That's it. Just
no title shot.
Sitting at the house.
Just sitting at the house.
$300,000 or whatever.
That's at least that's a good thing. They don't do like WWE and make you show up. So I guess, and they don't run house shows, so it's not like you could say he at least working on the house shows. What is he doing? What are they doing? Like,
I hope they're paying him.
No, they gotta pay him his contract, but
at some point in time, man, Tony Khan is gonna have to do some cuts, man. That's just what it is. He gonna have to. Like this don't make any sense at this point.
WWE could cut 30% of their roster. AEW could cut about 20%, and you could form another federation. Hell, let that be Ring of Honor, and just do something, man. It's crazy.
Oh, Vince McMahon bringing his group.
Oh yeah, well you heard Vince McMahon. There's rumors he still want to get in wrestling, but then there's also rumors that he's doing poor health. Some guy reported that, but everybody shot it down. But the guy was saying that he heard firsthand from Linda McMahon that Vince is doing really bad, but it's not being reported.
Thank the Lord.
It's not being it's not being reported anywhere else though. So I don't know.
Now we just got to work on Trump.
All right, well that's my cue, fellas. So,
by the way, the DNC is going on right now, and they should not have Nancy Pelosi out there. I don't know what her ratchet ass doing on that damn stage. She should not be on the DNC. She needs to sit her ass down on the side.
Venkat is actively trying to get me messed up. But so I didn't
Tuesdays at 6:30.
Yeah, y'all come over to Tape His Politics. I thought that this show was going to be Sunday night, but it's actually going to be Sunday at 1, so that's even better. So we probably could do a watch along to the main event. But I'll see, because I got to work on my damn car. So I'll see how that go. But now that I know it's in the afternoon, that might be a fun thing to do. Just to check out, see, because the Danielson, it got stakes. I mean, it has stakes. That's what you always want in wrestling, is tie some stakes to it. And I know the match is going to be great. So I'll let you guys know what's up with that.
Well, you got to clarify what kind of steaks.
Well, not the kind I like, the 20-ounce ribeye.
Oh, okay.
But, so we and I also have scheduled for next Saturday to do a watch along to the main event of Bash of Berlin, Gunther versus Orton. That should be a fun one.
That's the main event. Is that even confirmed?
No, that's the main event. That better be the main event.
If your tribal chief decide he wants to show up in a match,
Roman
it's
Reigns
going to be the last match.
Roman Reigns ain't going over there.
You can't. If the tribal chief says he wants to go over there, he's going to go over there.
You're not seeing Roman Reigns again until what month is this? We're going to August, probably October.
October, Bad Blood.
October. Yeah, you'll see him for Bad Blood. You ain't gonna see him for a while.
Bad Blood here. That's like an old ass in your house event.
It's the 27th anniversary.
It's the anniversary of it.
That's horrible.
So
we didn't do this event for how many? When the last time they had a Bad Blood?
27 years ago.
Exactly. Why would you then?
You want them to bring back Halloween? No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I'm just saying. Why don't they pick the events that they want to do and just keep that schedule?
I'm not doing it. Hey, Bones, I don't know if you heard our conversation earlier, me and MD, with the Brian Flores tour thing, but I am going to do a full breakdown on it. I was actually going to do it after this, but I'll probably have to do it tomorrow or Friday. I'm going to do a full breakdown on the tour of Brian Flores situation. And also next Saturday or Sunday, we're going to do a NFL what would you call it? Not a preseason, a
preview, a season preview show.
Yeah, the season preview. So we're gonna do a season preview show. Me and all the fellas. MD, you're more than welcome to come on and talk about your Falcons.
Yeah, and come on since you're a Falcons fan.
Yeah, and we're gonna give our season predictions, so they'll be on tape. So nobody could change anything, and we can go back to the tape and be like, all right, this is what you said. Y'all already know I got the Dolphins winning at minimum 12 games this year, and we're going to the AFC title game. So I said it, and I'll say it again next Saturday. Make sure and tune in to Man Talk Monday this coming Monday. Tape Fist Politics on Tuesday. Tomorrow night I actually have a interview with Minister Washington. It Must Be Written. That's going to be real good, because he like a real church preacher. So I'm gonna really put him on the hot seat. I already got some questions that I want to ask him, try to make him uncomfortable, see how he answer those questions. Look for that Pour Your Heart Out Man Talk Monday collaboration for the Baby Boy show. Look for the Pour Your Heart Out therapy sessions, because my wife has taken over the Straight Talk therapy sessions, which is fantastic with me. Her and Dr. Mia, are close. They talk to each other all the time. So that's good. They can work that out. Take something off my plate. So she'll be taking over the therapy sessions. After Dark is coming soon. Mike, Moon Goddess, and Ricardo are actively coming together, bringing their show ideas together. And what we're gonna do with that show, whatever Monday Man Talk Monday isn't on, then they'll do the After Dark. It won't be a weekly show, but we'll pick a Monday in the month to do the After Dark, because I didn't know Mike works late on the weekend, so we can't do it at night when I really want to do it. So we'll do it on the Man Talk Monday.
What about Friday nights?
He can't do it on the weekends.
Oh,
Friday through Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know he worked overnight. I think he said he'll get off to like midnight or something like that. Some crazy shit.
He sounds like me.
Yeah, nah.
Everybody going through it, man. Hey, I'm still driving right now. Everybody pushing the clock.
I get up at 4:00 in the morning, go to the gym, and then get to work. And then sometime like today, man, was a struggle trying to get home. So yeah, man.
Did
Everybody.
you get rain? Did you get a lot of rain?
Did it rain? It rained hard for like 3 minutes and then just completely stopped and went bright like nothing ever happened. Typical Florida.
Yeah, it was storming down in Miami while I was working at.
Yeah,
Pretty
typical
heavy.
South Florida. Yeah, it's hell. I haven't even finished watching Monday Night Raw yet, and Monday Night Raw was here. We couldn't go because something came up where I couldn't do it. But Monday Night Raw was here, so I don't even know how. I only got like an hour into that show. I haven't watched NXT, so I've been behind, man. That's why I haven't done any 5 counts because I can't get a consistent enough schedule to actually sit down and do it. A lot of this stuff is gonna have to be like pre-recorded stuff. So yeah, that's where we are with that. So y'all,
Hey, at least everybody making money, man.
Yeah. Hey,
No, we ain't making no money here.
You know, there you go.
We just working like dogs in this capitalistic society.
There go the flip side. But yeah, man, y'all appreciate y'all coming through. Appreciate the resident AEW guy coming through and not answering my question. It's all good.
I answered it. Young Bucks was the answer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You did eventually answer it, man. That was okay. So, fellas, it's been real.
All right, peace.
All right, I gotta go eat dinner, man. Damn it.
All right.
Hate eating late. All right, Venkat. All right, fellas. Well, Straight Talk Society, there you have it. Another fantastic episode of Wrestling with Reality. Oh man, hey, we just really don't have time to watch AEW just to see, you know, the weekly storylines and things. But we do watch all the pay-per-views. We do watch all the pay-per-views and we do report on the pay-per-views. And like I said, I think this pay-per-view is going to be fantastic. I just don't think AEW needs like a real booker, not Tony Khan. Tony Khan doesn't know how to run wrestling. He only knows how to write checks. So once they get like a real wrestling mind in there, then I think they'll be much better off. But nevertheless, man, like I said, we're going to have a football season is starting up, so we're getting ready to crank out that football content. So y'all make sure and subscribe to the channel, man. We got a bunch of different things. We got a politics show every Tuesday night at 6:05 p.m. The best politics show on YouTube. We have the flagship show of Straight Talk Society, Man Talk Monday, every Monday at 6:05. Wrestling with Reality is a bi-weekly show, but we do watch all the PLE main events. We do live watch-alongs to all the main events of the PLE, and then we review the show afterwards, depending on the time that it is. So, hey, with all that being said, I leave you with these words. Always seek out the truth for yourself, because if not, you'll fall victim to other people's interpretations of them. Peace!
And the bitch
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
You'll get the shit. You'll be knee deep in the shit.
I'm gonna take you home.
What?
You're gonna be mine.